live soon.
Hey friendos, we're back. Just sorting out some technical issues, trying to get Sunshine here onto Fantasy Grounds. Thanks again for Fantasy Grounds sponsoring the show, as ever. We are using them tonight as our virtual tabletop of choice. I have here some lovely assembled human beings who are here to play my game with me for the first time in a long while. I'm not gonna lie to you all. So not only will I be rusty, even though I've been finishing off the draft of it, we're going to take it slow. And any questions you have, just let me know. But let's roll over to Lydia. How are you doing today, friends?
Hot
off
good.
The guards thing, right?
I'm still slightly sort of vibrating whenever I think about it because it was just something else for a little sort of last minute mini-series.
Yeah. Super cool
premiere.
concept too. Nice.
I did not, by the way, I did not pay Sam to praise guards and request it back. I mean, at least
did I just
not
do
as
something?
far as anyone can
Did I create a situation?
It's all good. You might be seeing it again at some point on Encounter Roleplay, but not for this short summer season. But you will see more of me because you can't get rid of me. So at the moment, everything is Encounter Roleplay and nothing hurts.
Yeah, that's fair. We've got a lot of time on our hands.
Yeah.
So, who are you playing tonight? Give us a little insight.
I am playing Amanda McIntosh, who is a face, according to the class list of the spy game. That is your, A-team's face, if you will. That's the smooth talker. That's the charisma class. And I'm doing a little bit of a playtesting of something I have not even gotten so far because I did back Spy Game on Kickstarter as well, but yeah, of course I did. This is me trying to bribe him to not kill us all. But the Hollywood starlet, if you will, the celebrity subclass, and that should be super fun. So Amanda is a fresh starting out Hollywood star that will hopefully come in handy for the mission.
Greg, thanks so much for the raid, man. 23 people. Do you know it was me?
Ooh.
I love Greg. So celebrity is one of the subclasses we unlocked. It's one of the first stretch goals. So we're doing a subclass. Welcome in, Raiders. Welcome in. For each of the different classes. So we started off with 2 subclasses for each, and every single one's going to get a third. And celebrity is the third subclass for face. So. It's been slapped together in the last literally couple of weeks, so I'm going to have a lot of fun seeing how it plays because there's some silly stuff in it. I mean, you've got the first class feature because we're at level 3, but there is more kind of fun stuff to have a gander at that as well once that gets out to backers. Yeah, super cool. And Kat, Cleric of Court, is with us. How are you doing, friend?
I am doing good. Yes, I am unmuted. Yay! I managed to do that.
Congrats.
I'm doing all right. I hoping the internet's gonna stay good for this. So far, so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fingers crossed. For some reason, there seems to be such this increased demand on the internet. I don't know why.
I don't know what it
Very
is.
Yeah. It's on a Friday afternoon. Nobody thought. I'm playing. Who am I playing? I'm playing Diana. I'm playing Diana Adams. Diana is the medic because I'm a cleric. I can't not play clerics.
Beautiful.
It's a thing. It's a thing. So she's the medic. She is a government background, works for the NHS as a trauma surgeon in the Glasgow Royal Infirmary. And
nice.
The agency paid for her medical school, so she pays back the agency by doing odd jobs. And she may or may not have a relationship with some of the other characters. Who knows? We'll see.
Oh, I'm sure we'll find out very soon.
Yes.
Cool. Have you got anything coming up? Any funky streams?
Oh, what have I got coming up? Stream-wise, if all goes well, we should be back to. Well, let's see. There's something coming up on Tuesdays that I can't quite talk about, but soon. Keep your eyes open. Soon, very soon. And yeah, just keep an eye on my Twitter. But there's stuff coming up for ERP. There's stuff coming up for on the other Doc's channel with a Masks game that is probably going to kick into its second season. And there was one other thing. Oh, meat grinders. Guys, go to the Discord. Sign up for the meat grinder. Sunday, May 31st.
I'm DMing that one. I forgot to mention that.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
And Lydia will be up to her fey bullshit, so do you want to be a part of that?
Good. All right, I'm looking forward to it. Oh, wait, cool. And Kevin with us again in Encounter Roleplay. How are you doing, sir?
I am well, and really happy to be back here on Encounter Roleplay. It's been a while, but really excited to be back.
Good. Who are you playing today?
Today I will be playing Mike Hammer, codename Hammer, a former law enforcement officer turned soldier, with this merry band of misfits as we go on our adventure today. Basically, I'm a little bit older than most, so I have modeled this character after Mickey Spillane's Mike Hammer, who was played by Stacy Keach and was on American television for about 5 seasons. So I'm really excited to jump into this guy.
Cool. Yeah, you're right. I have no idea who that is. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not even that young myself. Like, that's fair, man. That's fair. Have you got anything else coming up? Any other channels or anything you want to play?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm glad that you allowed me to do so. We are running an esports RPG on my own channel, and we run that every Wednesday night. And if I may do a little humble brag, I'm super excited. After just 4 episodes, we had averaged 50 people, and at one point had 350 people in the stream. So we were super excited. We love that, and hopefully if we can just have people suspend belief and be entertained for those 3 hours, that makes us a happy group. And so super excited. Man. Yes, sir.
Super good. Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, check that out, folks. Check out Kevin's Twitter for that. Links and stuff, I'm sure, in your bio and stuff. All right. And finally, we have Julia with us. How are you doing tonight? Or this afternoon, wherever you are?
Afternoon. Doing good. Super excited for this. A little bit nervous because it's my first time ever live streaming.
Oh, okay. No problem. We will give yourself plenty of time. I had this whole Twitter thread, not quite a thread, but I had this whole thing, a bit of a lukewarm take that streamers should be allowed to take their time. So if there is anything any of you at any point need to ask, just ask. And if there is even a cool roleplay bit we just want to pause on, we can always just pause. We're all cool. We're gonna play for a couple hours. It's gonna be super cool. I'm gonna get things wrong as well, guaranteed. So do not worry about it at all. All good here. But cool. All right. Who are you playing for us tonight?
I am playing Chanel Montgomery, codename Sunshine, who is she was an extremely bored trust fund baby, taught herself hacking for kicks, and then she hacked the Pentagon just for funsies, and so now works for the spy agency because basically prison would not suit her in the least.
That is beautiful black hat hacker style stuff. Absolutely. Amazing. Cool. All right. Well, I am RPG Webby around the internet, and I've posted some links in the tunnel for the spy game, but you can find me around the internet at RPG Webby. On Twitter mostly, Reddit sometimes if you frequent that hellhole of the internet. And yeah. Otherwise, check us out at blackcatsgaming.com or follow Black Cats on Twitch and the Twitters. All right, now I've done my professional shill bit. Let's talk about the session. All right, so first we start with a briefing as ever. So I am going to frame this as you are all aboard a Learjet, small international aircraft that's been chartered by the agency that you work for to Los Angeles. You've been checked in, sat down in your seats. The seatbelt signs have just been turned off, and your handler heads onto the deck of the plane from the front seat. He is fairly average height, stocky build, with a thick ginger beard and long, kind of light ginger hair that is braided down and shaved very, thinly at like both sides. And this is your handler. You just know him as Bruce. And he says, "Morning, folks," with a broad Scottish accent. He is wearing a fairly, it's kind of a suit jacket over this kind of like V-necked black t-shirt, fairly smart trousers and shoes. And he's got a little pad that he's holding just in his left-hand side. He says, "I'm sure you'll know each other a little bit. We have here, sat on this deck of the plane currently, McCoy, Sunshine, and Hammer. So there are 3 of you just now." And he says, and we're due one more. I believe some of you may already know her already. May I introduce Agent Ophelia?" And he, like parting from that, you know those curtains that you have for the flight attendants. So like those part somehow, maybe not sure how. There's no one there other than Ophelia, and McCoy stood behind these curtains as they part. Is your ex, Agent Ophelia?
Is there a bar on this plane?
Hello, everyone.
The mini bar is behind you, but I'm not sure you can stretch the budget, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Screw the
Don't
budget.
you usually have a
and
flask with you, Diane?
Metal detectors.
Hmm. The
Something about
alcoholic
liquids.
Spain.
Yeah. And she's pouring a big glass of red wine.
Ooh, this was more awkward than I thought it would be.
So,
Amanda just nods at everyone. Do I know any of them other than McCoy?
You guys will certainly, I imagine, have heard that you'll be working with each other with code names and some basic information about what your role is for the team. But other than that, unless you want to invent any other connections, I don't mind. We can spend a few minutes figuring that out if you like.
after last movie out of the bargain bin.
I mean, that's establishing one, sure.
That's one way of embarrassing yourself in front of your co-workers. You keep surprising me in that regard. Always a new little prick, a new little hang from the side. Let's keep it professional.
Didn't want you to get bored.
Hello, everyone.
Again.
She repeats and ignores the X. Hammer, Sunshine.
I imagine that both Sunshine and Hammer, you know Agent Ophelia by her screen name, which I presume is still Amanda McIntosh.
Yeah.
All right, cool. But yeah, you recognize her immediately. She is a celebrity, so she is known to you, at least in passing, depending on whether you're a film goer or read the celebrity columns in newspapers and stuff. That's up to you.
Yeah, she doesn't have too many films on her bill at this point, but it's one of those young new actresses, romantic stuff situations, especially in times like these when queer actors are getting a little bit more spotlight. She was doing a big romantic film with the two lesbian protagonists, which got a lot of attention because it's finally mainstream. Oh my god! Hasn't really done much since. Is sort of mostly tabloids and oh my god, what is she wearing? You know, things like that. But yeah,
Met Gala stuff. Yeah, sure. All right. Okay. Bruce continues. Our target is in sunny LA. A senator named Jamal Campbell, and he's up to something shifty. Our client says money's coming in and going out of his account like something fierce, but he can't say how much is being transferred or where it's going. So we've been asked to get in there and find out what's going on. In case it's not nearly as clean as it should be, we want you to follow the money, see where it comes from, where it's going, and what it's being used for. Now, his home is a fortress, but that's where his records will be. He's rarely there where he's touring for his upcoming presidential candidacy. And security is pretty tight. We think we have a way in. There's a party in a week celebrating his actor husband's latest film, Much Speed, Much Fury 6. I never caught the first 5. Your job is to get in and find both where the senator's money is coming from and where it's going to. We also want to know why it's being transferred. So you're going to need to find proof of what the money is being used for. So letters or memos, emails, anything like that. Otherwise, it's just like the senator's moving some money around legitimately. We actually need a lead on something, not just some bank statements. Now, we've got a couple of infiltration methods. I'll go over those. We've worked the security angle, but we've not actually been able to work out who the private company is, who he's contracting for the party or for his own bodyguards, which is quite unusual for us, really. Got it? Well, if there's any questions, I'll take them.
Is he a state senator or a senator of the United States?
A Californian state senator, I believe.
Then security won't be as tight.
Is Ophelia on the guest list?
Well, that's something I was coming to. Hopefully, maybe we can work the angle, and I hope so. Because one thing we do have for you is we have a couple of cover identities we can put on people, and we just have 2, unfortunately. But they're for servers with the catering company. We'll need to know who's going to that beforehand so that we can actually create those identities and get you into the company's mechanisms.
Am I on the guest list? Like, can I take a +1 or yeah? I can take a +1.
Oh, good. You're already on the list. Thank Christ. Very good.
Oh, you knew that when you hired me for this.
Well, I was hoping so. They ain't quite told me yet.
Any volunteers? And she purposefully doesn't look at McCoy.
And Bruce is like back and forth to the 2 of you. Like
McCoy's already halfway through her goblet of wine.
Sunshine is looking like this is the best thing she's ever seen and just raises her hand immediately when Ophelia asks for volunteers.
Sunshine, wonderful.
All right, I got one.
Right, okay. She'll do the really horrible half handshake thingy of a very lovely to make your acquaintance.
Sunshine extremely dramatically kisses her hand just because she thinks it's funny.
And now Ophelia looks at McCoy.
And McCoy finishes half a large cup, finishes the rest of the wine in one go.
This is it, folks. This is the rest of the session, okay?
This is going to be it. You are looking for spies and heists, and nope, it's going to be that.
It's just going to be drama. And so Bruce is like watching all this, and just like, okay, good. So
looks for Bruce and goes, the popcorn's in the pantry.
Yeah, and would I have any contacts in the media? Because my thought is, and Hammer will say to the group, perhaps, with this being this kind of event, I can infiltrate the place as a member of the media. Would I have any contacts in media to acquire maybe a press credential to be inside for this, to do fake interviews?
Sure. You certainly have contacts with law enforcement and certainly Interpol as well as part of your background feature. You don't have any specific contacts with press, and it becomes apparent looking over some of the documentation on tablets that you get handed. This is a private party. So this is going to be the wrap party for what's his shop's? I forgot his name already. But his husband's movie. So this husband is Chad Campbell, 32-year-old actor of African American origin, and he's worked as an actor since college. So he's quite well known, very well built, action movie star, that kind of thing.
Is there a guest list that we that's on the tablet that we can look at, or have they acquired that?
They haven't, because what they have managed to do is work the catering angle, and as Bruce described, they haven't managed to work out who's doing security for it either. So, something's fishy about that, essentially, because normally contacts within at least the intelligence services and the security services, possibly even law enforcement, would know, and then it's probably not even hard to just get on the phone to somebody and it's like, oh, have you heard who's doing this job? Oh, okay, I'll go and call them, that kind of thing. But there's been absolutely nothing on this job.
Okay, because what I do know, just from my real life experience, is that the California Highway Patrol does executive protection for all of these senators and dignitaries that come into the state. So Hammer will put that in the back of his mind, and he'll fire off a phone call after the briefing to the California Highway Patrol. All
right. Okay. Cool. Well, I'm just going to go over the gadgets first of all. Once we've figured out what your gadgets are, once I've given them to you, then we can do the kind of first phase of the mission and a bit of intel gathering, like you were saying, Kevin, and stuff like that, so that we can get a plan together. All right. So Bruce, on these tablets, flicks through a kind of little cool Visio presentation of what you've got. It's a bit like one of those weird in-flight movies where, not like nowadays they've got celebrities to like do seatbelt unbucklings and stuff for people, but it's like one of those, like in tech services, they've rigged up a nice camera. Someone's clearly an intern who's trying to do like a media degree or something, and they give you a rundown of the gear. So you are being given an espionage RV. So you can use this RV for both transport and accommodation whilst you're in the area around Los Angeles. It gives you guys the time to plan infiltration or to work some surveillance if you wanted to beforehand. It also allows you to travel freely. So as long as you can find a place to park the vehicle inconspicuously, you should do fine. And it's up to you guys, whatever you want on the side of this RV. What else do we have? Okay. Hidden within the cupboards of the RV is a full suite of surveillance equipment. It allows you guys within the RV to remotely attempt to access local wireless networks and tap into radio frequencies in the area. Access to the agency records and the internet on the RV also allows you to deliver intelligence to agents in the field as they perform their duties. So that's the big thing you've got there. We've also got the two cover identities that I mentioned. So we've got the two servers for the catering company. So two people can go undercover and be members of that little catering service. And they'll be giving out vol-au-vents and taking drinks at tables or whatever's going on. And then the final thing we have for you is a document scanner. So this is like a small device. It's the size of a smartphone, and it basically allows you to like remotely scan and recreate any paper records you find. So it's like those old naughty scanners that you used to have, like always probably still have nowadays in printers and stuff. Also similar to when you take a photo and it changes into a PDF, one of those apps. So it's a specialized device for that. So you just kind of wave the scanner over the document. And you could do this pretty speedily, like you could do like a document kind of every couple of seconds or so. And it will store that information. It will make it all searchable and PDFs and this and that, and then it will store all that information for you, so that you can retrieve it later. So yeah, you guys are free to chat now whilst we're still in the plane, and then what we can do is move towards the RV, kind of a little while later, just before the party, to do a bit of intelligence gathering and stuff like that. So. Up to you guys. If you've got any ideas, plans, or questions, just let me know.
McCoy's going to go back into the little kitchen and put up a tray of snacks, bring them around, and start offering them to everybody. And as she offers one to, just practicing, and as she offers one to Ophelia, she goes, "I brought the little French maid outfit. Wasn't sure if I was going to get a chance to use it. Guess I will."
And Ophelia will genuinely blush. And then glare, because she doesn't have a witty retort. And she got a little bit thrown off her game. And she's thinking of French maid outfits. So she'll take a little carrot and just eat it with a loud crunch. So, 2 servers, 1+1. What is it that you bring to the table, if you don't mind me asking?
Ladyfinger?
Well, that, yes. Hammer? Is it? I don't want to assume that you're good at hammering, but...
I think that if I understand the question correctly, what I will bring to the table is make sure that you guys will be safe and not get hurt here, if that's what I'm understanding.
That is very much appreciated.
Yeah, hammer's not the sharpest tool in the shed, by the way. He's more of a blunt force instrument. Just so you know.
Cool.
So if that sounded really dumb, it was supposed to. So that's I'm trying to play him up.
Love it.
No, it's the hammer not being the sharpest. Oh my god, I love it.
Yeah. So you get it. You're getting it.
I want to make posters now. Like.
Yep.
Yeah, I love it. Okay. We also have a boon, folks, because we got 20 retweets. So, we got another gadget, friends. I am very willing to just try and invent something now, or if you say something that I already have in my little catalog of pre-written gadgets, then we'll chuck that in as well. Is there anything you guys want or need for this mission you don't think you've got yet, based on your equipment you've got in your individual character slots and your gadgets?
What do you guys think about the Mission Impossible mask that can turn you into anybody you need one time?
Yes, that sounds amazing.
I thought it was like they had like this little briefcase and you put the picture of the person in it and then it make this mask, maybe it's a one-time use item.
So I already have this. Right.
Yes.
So there are 2 versions. So the first version we saw in Mission Impossible 1 was we never saw how they got made, right? So you just assume that they have something back in tech services that they get made up and then they they send out with the mission. Otherwise, there is the kind of upgraded version, which is a caliber above what you guys have at the moment. And that's the portable version where you've got the whole setup and you like bring it out and then it like chisels away at the thing and then it makes the mask. So you guys can have a mask as a gadget. The voice, the little weird voice chip thing that they chuck on the neck, though, is separate.
I'm wondering, would it be possible to maybe get an image of one of the private security guards? If we could get their face, and that way we could have Hammer replace them. Maybe the guy at the who's working the front entrance, checking names off the list, or somebody who's going to be assigned to working closely in the house, watching the catering staff. Maybe we could do that. Find the face of one of those people and get Hammer in there.
I'd let you do that, yeah. So we'll have a bit of kind of in-person surveillance and espionage just after the flight, and then, yeah, providing you guys can succeed, I can give you that mask.
McCoy's going to take the tray of food and walk over to Sunshine, offer Trey, go, do you enjoy lady fingers too?
Oh, I love them.
Thought you might.
Ophelia's just shaking her head because I'm pretty sure that's one of McCoy's sort of go-to lesbian dad jokes. And she's heard her say it at least 20 times.
At least.
At least. She's not going to say anything. He's dedicated to the mission. Although probably in 2 or 3 more there will be an explosion.
All right, yeah. So this second skin is a caliber 3 item. So we're generally working with caliber 1 gadgets at this level, but as the boon, I would let you have this one. So it's a full prosthetic head mask sculpted to the likeness of a specific individual or just an original likeness, and disguises the wearer as the individual they wish to appear as. People trying to see through the disguise must succeed on a DC 20 Wisdom, Perception, or Insight check. If the second skin is paired with a voice modulator, the check has disadvantage. So it's as I say, it's not going to be paired with a voice modulator, but it will have you basically just be able to just pass as the person rather than having to kind of roll some disguise, roll some deception rolls, that kind of thing, you know.
We'll take it. That sounds great.
Cool. All right. So we'll figure that out as to who that will be in the field. All right. Anything else? Any other questions before we start a little bit of the espionage stuff?
What would I know about the party itself and who's going to be there? What kind of Hollywood party it is?
So this, because it's a wrap party, this would be more for the kind of cast and crew, as more of a celebration for them specifically, rather than it's a bit of more of an after party, rather than a kind of glitz and glamour event where you've got paparazzi and stuff like that. There might be the odd pap in the street trying to snag a couple of shots of people, but as I say, this is more of a private party.
Are you okay then with me saying that the reason Ophelia is even on the guest list is because when she was still a nobody actress, she played one tiny part in one of the early Much Speed, Much Fury films, the horrible part of lady in a short skirt with cleavage down to her belly button, where you see everything before you see the face.
I saw a tweet recently of someone who was like, "Oh my god, if you pause this, I can't remember which movie it was, but if you pause this movie at 23 minutes in 11 seconds, you can see me for 3 seconds come out of the shot." Or if someone couldn't find it, and someone did, so within I don't know, 20 minutes was there, found the shot. So yeah, you were in it for 3 seconds, short dress, and it was more of one of those kind of establishing shots. And they wanted to get a bit of cheesecake in there. So yeah, that was your kind of one of your breaks, I think.
Yeah, sure.
There you go. I guess.
So I'm not sure just how much security there will be at a party like this. It's very much people congratulating each other, patting their own backs. There will be some, naturally, especially for the senator, but expect people to know each other.
With the presidential run, though, there's going to be increased security. Americans are a little ticky about that kind of stuff.
I just mean to say expect them to know who's on and who's there. It's not a huge hundreds of people sort of thing.
Yeah, hence the catering angle for the other identities.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right then. Well, after you've touched down, you've got a little bit of time before the party to do a little bit of surveillance work and some good old-fashioned espionage. Kevin, you wanted to find out a kind of a face of the security service that's there, whoever freelance or private security firm has been employed to do so. Did we have anything else before I started off that anyone wanted to do beforehand?
Pull. I'd like to pull, if I can, one of my contacts. I'd like to see if we can get the plans of the house of where they're at, those kinds of things, so that we know, entrances, exits, things like that. So my list includes, calling my law enforcement contacts to find out private security, trying to get floor plans for the house, and then just doing some more research on the man himself.
Okay. Anyone else have anything?
I think McCoy is going to work with Sunshine because McCoy's secondary is infotech and computers. So they're going to work with Sunshine as far as what needs to be done. If Sunshine can't get in, if Sunshine, for whatever reason, isn't able to complete it, then McCoy would have to be the backup. And we'll spend time with Sunshine reviewing how Sunshine plans to get in, what kind of password access we have, that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll copy my packing materials onto a separate tablet and leave it with McCoy just in case.
So you haven't got has McCoy got a tablet themselves as part of their equipment stuff? I think you have, haven't you? Yeah. You unfortunately can't you can't copy your tools over. Just mechanically the way they work. They're they're was attuned to you, as it were. You're very used to using them, and they're kind of idiosyncrasies and stuff.
It's just a smartphone and a laptop.
Cool. So you got a laptop. So everything that would have software on it or an operating system is a device. So devices can be hacked. So everything from kind of smart home stuff to smartphones to stuff like that. Smart TVs, all sorts of good stuff.
So yeah, but she won't as a server, she won't be able to bring her laptop with her. It's going to be hard enough getting her medical bag in. So she's going to put what she can onto the phone, whatever apps she can on the smartphone.
You'll have
see if
access to
maybe
any kind of civilian stuff that you'd be able to have access to on that phone.
How well, are there any events with the senator before the party while we're there getting set up?
Oh, like that, those few days before?
Yep.
So for a bit of distance, I'm going to say he's in another state. He's just going to be flying in like the day before and at least you assume heading home and just getting kind of ready for the party.
Okay.
So you can make that assumption because he's got an appearance like in a county somewhere in another state and will be flying back in.
Okay. All right. What about the husband?
I was going to say that might be my thing because he's an actor. So I'm going to go full Instagram and start spreading the whole idea that, yeah, I'll be in Hollywood and oh my God, we need to meet up and yeah, cocktails later. And do a lot of social networking to not make it look in any way suspicious that I'm gonna be there, as in, oh my God, it's so nice to see you again. Remember ages ago when we did that film? Plus trying to find out a bit more about the husband as well, what kind of guy he is in private rather than the Hollywood persona.
Oh, okay.
My thought was maybe if somebody can do the selfie thing, hand them the camera to hold and do the selfie, we could get a thumbprint and a face for biometrics to get into the computer if that's one of the access keys for their home computer system.
Yeah, maybe. All right. Let's start with something like that. So let's try it. So I'm going to try and resolve this with fairly few rolls so we can kind of dive into the actual party itself very soon. So, Lydia, if you want to make me a espionage roll, or let's say this is a charisma check, but I want you to add your espionage, proficiency if you have a proficiency in espionage.
I have the jack of all trades, so I don't have proficiency as such, but half proficiency is usually
so add one to the check as well.
So just espionage. Yeah. That's a 12. Not that great.
All right. So you managed to get a like a kind of text chat going, or like on a WhatsApp or whatever you use, just to get some basics. What's the one thing you want to hear from me? One bit of key information or something you want to grab.
I want to see if he knows who I am.
Okay.
If he's seen what if he's seen my films, if he knows who I am in the sense of, hey, you random person, or oh, actually, I really want to meet this person.
Yeah, he actually. Yeah, he actually does. He it was like I imagine there to be a different connection there that got you the invite, like a kind of director or a producer, somebody like that. But once you get in contact, he is actually keen to meet because, like, he's probably seen. He confesses to seeing your latest film and knows about your other films and the fact that you started off in the Much Speed, Much Fury franchise. So it'll be cool to meet and just chat and stuff. Typical kind of Hollywood networky style stuff.
I'll relay that and say it's, of course, nobody's going to be best friends all of a sudden, not in LA, but it's good to know that we have a way to get to him if necessary.
Cool. All right. And Kevin, you wanted to tap up your law enforcement contacts for with some of the highway patrol stuff.
Yeah, so I'd like to kind of do a little research into who, if anybody from actual law enforcement, and then this guy obviously hired his own private security company. I'd like to try to find out who he hired, who's in charge, and if I know anybody from there.
Okay. It's going to be difficult. But I'm going to need you to roll. Normally, I'd imagine that kind of contact info from the background is kind of fairly given, but we're going to make this. This is going to be like DC 20. It's going to be an espionage check.
Okay, and so I'm rolling a d20 here?
Uh-huh.
All right, and the winner is a 1.
Oh, no. So you try your contacts without any kind of personal fault. You're coming up fairly empty. People, whoever this firm is, it's been really obscured as to who they actually are. There's no record. Your private security contacts have not heard of the job. So I think that would say to you that he hasn't looked out to try and find private security, if you catch my drift.
Yeah, no, for sure. So strike out on all those. Is there a separate role for if there's any highway patrol working, or is this for both?
So give me a little that tasty out of character stuff about highway patrol. Like, what kind of information would you have? Because I'm willing to give that to you as part of your background.
Yeah, so in the state of California, Highway Patrol is in charge of dignitary protection. So if any, out of state or for state senators, if they're, having parties or moving and things like that, they are in charge of escorting dignitaries from place to place. So if there's any dignitaries that are heading to the wrap party, let's say the senator invited like his fellow senator or somebody like that, they would very well be protected by a dignitary protection service from the Highway Patrol.
Okay, cool. So the patrol officers you speak to, they don't have any record, any kind of schedule for looking after any dignitaries going to the party. So you can trace the fact that the day before, Senator Campbell is coming from his flight from LAX and heading straight to his home, and that's all they've got planned until the party.
Okay, so they will help him just from the airport to the home, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Okay,
sounds good.
Yeah, that's all they've got scheduled. All right, so let's look at the infiltration then, as we get into the party itself. So who is grabbing the catering company server identities? Hammer, you taking one of them? Kevin, are you taking one of the cover identities?
I could, and those identities are, again, just one more time.
So they're
just catering service.
Yeah, they're catering service. So they're just they're waiters, waitresses, they're servers. They're going to be bringing around snacks and drinks and stuff.
So Hammer's going to walk over to McCoy and Ophelia and say, what do you see me doing here? Do you want me inside with you, or do you want me watching on the outside? What do you think our best course of action here?
I think we should all be in. It's small,
the
but...
party's... Yes? Is the party being held in the gardens, and only the catering staff is going to be allowed inside in the kitchens, correct?
Yeah, so I think, what you'll get, I reckon, from... I'll give this to you now, Kat, because you're going to be one of these servers. Is like the day before, you'll get a little kind of itinerary over email, right? And it essentially just lets you know that you'll be coming into the rear of the property. So there is a kind of car-sized gate at the southwestern corner of the of the property. There's a little car park out the back there and a garage. And essentially, what you'll be doing is you'll be going from where are we on the map here? You'll actually be heading from, so on the south side, there's the, going from left to right, so from west to east, there's the garage, and there's the kitchen. So you'll be coming in from the southern gate. And then when you're working in the kitchen, you'll actually be going out through north into a meeting room, and then out west into around where there's like a garden around this whole fancy house. Not quite a mansion, but fancy house. Right? So that's the idea. So you're to report to the back gate, give your name and the ID of the catering company, and you've got your uniform as well. They've managed to be snagged even on the plane and in the RV as you now do some surveillance. And you can see if you park up that you've got this like big hedgerow that's a good kind of at least kind of 8-9 foot tall, and then you've got this gate. That's one of those little automatic car kind of barrier gate things that you then you put a little keypad in, or you'll talk to an operator or talk to the person in the house, and you can be let inside. So there'll be security to greet you there, and then you're to head through around the front into the entry to the house, and then report into the kitchen.
Is catering staff going to be security scanned the same way the guests are?
Yeah, I would imagine so. Absolutely, yeah. So you'll just, I reckon, so you guys will just get a pat down. Okay. But there might be other security measures for guests.
Okay. Just a pat down, but they're not going to be putting us through metal scanners?
You just don't know right now. There's been no mention of it on the email. Probably because they don't assume people are going to be smuggling things in.
Right. McCoy's going to have to get her her med stuff with her. She takes the med kit with her, but I think she's got it in a pouch disguised as chef's tools.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So it's she's got like a bag with the roll that pulls out that has knives, but stuff hidden in all of that stuff is over, because a good chef carries their own knives.
Yeah, for sure. Kevin's just adjusting his camera, but his mic's still on. So Kevin, just mute yourself for just a second. There we go. I think he's done it. Yeah. No, I'm not going to get a little secret roll here going on. That's fine. I think that's cool. Okay. All right. So yeah.
So she'll be pretty much stationed in the kitchen because she's coming in as kind of prep, as part of the catering staff. She's doing prep in the kitchen, so she'll be staying in the kitchen.
Okay.
So she can keep an eye on the meeting room, and that's where we know that the computer is, right? So she can run interference to there.
Possibly, yeah. But that is the kind of way in, way out for the catering staff. That's actually on the kind of rear. If you're actually walking up to the front of the house, that's that meeting room and the kitchen next to the garage is actually on the rear side of the house. So the servers have to go kind of all the way around the garden to get to what is in the front bottom corner of the grounds, the buffet marquee that's got some like a bar and like temporary bars up so that staff can make cocktails and stuff.
Will we be having ways of communication on the party at the party, as in all earpieces like all the cool people in films do?
Yeah, for sure. I'll give you those. Some people had them in the equipment already, but as part of the RV, I'll give you guys all. So you've got these little nude earpieces, earbuds that go straight into the not quite the inner ear canal, but just sit in and aren't usually detectable. Someone who is actually kind of like peering in your ear or kind of just vaguely inspecting what side of your face will probably find it. They're not infallible. And yeah, they'll be connected to a small radio, either in a purse or a wallet or a pocket or something like that, that you can then talk. And it's all routed through the RV as well.
Then yeah, it's I think best for everyone to be in. If Kevin can still hear us, I think so. Rather than having a sort of sniper on the outside, I think it's small enough to not warrant any big dramatic entrance. I think if we do big dramatic entrance and or exit, we've already fucked up.
Sure.
So yeah.
Cool. All right. And then Ophelia and Sunshine are going in as the guest and +1, right?
Mm.
Cool. All right.
Sunshine, should we work on a little background for our characters?
Probably a bit.
How did we meet?
Maybe.
Long lost cousin? A friend from acting school?
Friend from acting school, I think.
I like it. Yes. Long nights of studying monologues and Shakespeare. Drinking in the pubs after premieres that we were hoping to spend with our partners, maybe, but, they never had time. Something like that. A bond
Just
forged.
hypothetically.
A bond forged in young years. I like it. I think we can work with that.
Because
You get to pick a name as
so
well.
much free time.
How shall I introduce you to people,
Need to pick
Sunshine?
some names.
I can help you with a little bit of pizzazz for the details of a persona.
I mean, you could just use my actual name. But if you think it would be better to use a fake name,
Never.
that's fine either way.
Never go with actual names in this sort of situation, I would say.
Take your word for it. Something appropriately dramatic then.
Yes. What about something seemingly old-fashioned? Your parents used to be very into German novelists of the 19th century. That whole Sturm und Drang area was really quite popular. So something simple, Marie, for example, or Gabrielle. No, that's already too dramatic. Maria. Is it? Do you speak German by any chance?
No.
Oh, wow. Marie Halkenstrumpf. No, it's too German. There is such a thing as too German in Hollywood. We can't have that. What kind of surname would you like, Marie?
Say something French.
French. Oh,
Just
French
for
is
added
timeless.
drama.
Yes, that always works. Sorry?
Just for added drama.
Added drama. French. Marie Etienne.
I like.
Marie Etienne. Yeah, I think short, to the point. Possibly you've done some French art films and just bringing you over into the big pool full of sharks.
It's all black and white, very indie. Nothing anyone would have ever seen.
It's perfect.
I
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it. I think we can work with this.
Nice. All right. Kevin, I don't know if you caught it. We were chatting and saying that maybe that you do use one of the cover identities. We don't necessarily need a kind of big dramatic entrance if anything kind of goes wrong,
Yeah, no, Hammer is all on board with that, and he just wants to keep his head down and just be as discreet as possible. I think that works just fine.
Okay. So shortly before the party, the two of you, Hammer and McCoy, are brought to or go to the back gate of the property. You can see in through the bars this large two-door garage in front, and then peering around to the right, kind of down the side of the hedge, and you've got the kind of left side of the house that you're on. You can see some kind of what I'd affectionately term portaloos, but they're kind of it's like a plush kind of toilet block in a kind of porta cabin that's been supplied here. It's kind of some kind of party services. And then just beyond that, you can see a marquee that is already being laid out with some buffet food, and some bartenders are already stocking up little pop-up bars and stuff like that. Security waves you in, just lets the gates open a little bit, and then pat you down. They do open your kind of doctor's chef's bag thing, McCoy, but they take a little look inside, and they're kind of okay with it, as they see some of the knives that you've placed on top of the other surgical equipment. They give you folks a bit of a pat down. Is there anything you're trying to bring in? Anything you're trying to smuggle in?
You know, could I try to smuggle in a bugging device of some sort? Do I have access to that?
No. So anything you've got in your equipment list, you can readily have available, and then the gadgets that I went over as well. That's what you guys have for this mission. Okay. Any kind of bugging stuff, you might just have to leave your earpiece that you have, because you have little radios just for the four of you that all sync up with in the RV. If you want to bug something, I imagine you could improvise that. You could take that out. It has its own little inbuilt microphone and just leave it somewhere. That might give you something, but then you wouldn't be able to hear it necessarily, but the RV would pick it up and everyone else would as well.
Sounds good. Okay. Got it.
But you guys have those little radio earpieces in for sure, but then they're not going to check for those in a pat down. But otherwise, you've not got much with you. No weapons necessarily. Obviously, I'll give you a few knives in your bag that could be used like an improvised basis. But yeah, nothing else. All right. So you guys are shown around the front of the property, and as you walk up to the right, just kind of in front of the marquee, you can see the actual front gate of the property and the path that heads up to the front that you're coming perpendicular to. And the path has got these little kind of big pot bushes lining it. And then it's got a nice little, almost kind of White House-esque patio front that you then head into. There's a reception with some like a double staircase that heads two sweeping arching staircases that meet in the middle. And then you're brought round to the left, and you're shown in through a large kitchen diner. And in the kitchen, there are already chefs at work with prep and stuff like that. There's a little there's kind of like a small door in the kitchen, and then in the corner, two other doors that probably lead out to the garage doors that you saw, and then also Hammer certainly are shown the meeting room, which is we've got one of those big business tables, lots of chairs around it, and kind of like a screen at the end. Very clean, nothing on it at the moment. And there are already servers coming back and forth from two windowed doors at the other end, just around to the left. So servers are currently taking food out and coming in with empty hands, ready to take out some more stuff.
Okay. I will just continue to be vigilant and look for the basic layout of everything, know where my exits are, know where the entrances are. And when we get to the backyard, assuming that's where we're going, because that's where the catering is taking place,
Yep.
Is just for information for Hammer. What's on the? Is there like a hedge or a fence that surrounds this place? And if I were to jump over that, is there like a freeway down there, a river? I mean, what's on the other side of the properties of the fences?
For sure. So yeah. So the south side, which is the large gate that you came through, has a good kind of like 8-9 foot tall hedge that on the outside is also like kind of like reinforced by a brick wall and then some iron bar railing that is matches about 7 foot high.
Okay.
And then it's similarly like that all the way around. On the south side of the property is a road. And this house, it's both its south and its eastern side are on roads, so it's on like a corner of residential area. And then on the western side and the northern side, those hedges and fences will, if you were to climb and then hopefully jump over, you would actually hit like someone else's backyard, basically.
Okay. All right.
Sam, is there any chance that I have a friend, a colleague at some point who's at that party, possibly the person that I hit up for the invitation and so on, that I could either meet before the party itself, or that I can latch onto once the party begins to get the goss?
Yeah, for sure. So you know a stunt woman who has been working in the franchise since you were on it. And she, you know her as Ellie. I was right. And so, yeah, you can. She's been a stunt driver for the franchise for years, and she's always been very practical and very safe kind of person. And she's quite diligent as well. She was on set, and so yeah, she drove the car that you then got out of in that shot.
Sweet.
There you go. It's not always racing along at 100 miles an hour. You're stunt driving, I guess.
And I imagine we've been hitting a couple of bars in between and just getting along quite well on a personal level. Can I give you a thing to use against us?
Yeah.
If it comes to it, she's either met McCoy or has seen a photo of her.
Yeah.
At some point ages ago.
Okay. Yeah. You've got her on social media. She follows your accounts, and from that time in your life together, you're posting lots of selfies and stuff like that. So, yeah.
And at some point, yeah.
Go ahead.
At some point before, I will take Diana aside and let her know that my contact is someone who knows her. I know you're not one to get a fresh haircut every other week. Looks lovely, by the way. But she has seen you and she will be there. If you are working the tables, maybe make sure you stay out of sight.
I'll be in the kitchen with the knives.
Good to know.
First, let me pull this one out of my back.
Subtle as always.
But she's before they do go, McCoy is going to go up to Sunshine and go, so it's not always easy being on Ophelia's arm at these events.
How so?
Well, she prefers 3/4 and on the right side, so you always have to stand to her left. She's a little self-conscious about her height, so try to make sure that you keep that perspective in mind when they're doing the pictures. You always want to be just slightly blurry, not quite in focus with her when the photographers come around.
I think I can manage that.
Yes, and I wouldn't try to outdress her because you can't.
Now, I'm almost seeing that as a challenge.
Have fun, darling.
Oh, I will.
Yes. If you need anything, I'll be in the kitchen.
I came in for the spy times, and you gave me the juicy fruits. What is this? It's drama.
How does it feel?
Yes.
It's great. That's what I come for. What is the sub goal, and why have we smashed it?
So we have actually hit 5 subs, which is our sub goal for a stream, and every time that happens, something happens. So thank you very much, guys. You have probably just given him yet another little piece of ammunition, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be juicy.
Do I get a thing?
If you want to, you can do whatever really you want as a big event that happens at some point, either later, or if you have something from the top of your head that either makes things better or worse, just make it spectacular. Spectacular, I can speak.
All right. Okay.
Better. Please.
I brought spy garb. I didn't bring any chef garb. I could not have foreseen. I have costume changes, but I have no catering equipment in my possession.
Quick, run into the kitchen and get a ladle.
I'll be back.
There's been this really nice montage of McCoy trying to teach Hammer how to properly hold a tray and serve it. Because there are ways that you work your way through college.
Like that, in a kitchen like that. So that's fine.
And McCoy was, oh, no, and just snatches the head off. No, you cannot be out among the guests in that.
I don't need a hairnet. We know that.
Yeah.
We'll be all right.
True. Oh, and that apron. You're going to have to wash that. Really.
Oh, man. If I had a chef hat, I would go get it right now. I promise. But
Nice.
Please teach me the ways of the catering.
And McCoy will, once they're in the kitchen, as McCoy is setting up the first tray, because she's going to, the way I see her, she's at the end of the prep line. So she's handing out the trays as they go so that she can make sure that Hammer gets any trays that have stuff on them that have to go to Ophelia or Sunshine or whatever. And when she's doing that, she's going to slip a knife into Hammer's pocket, so he'll have a folding knife, at least.
Nice.
So he's a weapon.
What a montage scene that is! A little cross with a knife exchange. I like it.
Yeah.
Well, it's as she's handing you the tray, the knife is just, you just take it and the knife is there.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll give that to you. It's nice.
Surgeon hands.
Yes.
Yeah, right, exactly. Cool. Okay. So, as there is actually some narration. As evening comes around, we'll head into the party, if he can find his place in the adventure. All right, yeah. So this extravagant home is obviously designed for both vanity and security. It's a brilliant white home, stretches up behind that hedgerow, which encircles the house. Lush grass on the lawn and all that kind of stuff. Guests arrive and the garden is alight with the sound of conversation. Hammer, you move with the catering staff between groups with canapes and chilled mimosas. As the day turns to early evening, Ophelia and Sunshine, you approach the gate of the building, where a member of the home's private security stands next to one of those walk-through metal detectors with a tablet and smiles at you and says, your name, please?
Is that for me?
Yeah. Or she asks for an invite.
Yeah. I will just show her the card. Amanda McIntosh, +1.
Thank you. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to ask you to sign your name and your signature here. And they're making the +1s sign in, basically.
Mm-hmm. Of course. Marie? You're muted. You're muted, dear.
I will sign an incredibly fake-looking signature.
Awesome. Yeah, you'd like have to suddenly make up a signature on the spot. What was my name again? Marie Squiggle. Yeah, okay, cool.
It's like I have clearly practiced this for doing autographs and never got a chance to do it because I'm not famous.
Nice. Yeah. Cool. All right. Yeah, it's one of those really quick, like one squiggle autograph signatures rather than a full like bank signature type thing. Yeah, for sure. Cool. All right. Are you folks trying to smuggle anything in that would set my metal detector off?
I don't think the metal detector. Oh, keep going. Because
the metal detector trigger for tablets.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think I'm trying to smuggle that in. I think I'm being fairly blatant. Like, yes, it has a tablet.
Is this in a bag that you've got?
Yeah, I've got like a little person tucked in there.
Yeah, cool. Okay, like as you ladies are kind of like done up for the party. Okay, they take a look in. Heck, I tell you what, I'm gonna roll. Okay. Bit of insight. They did not roll well. Okay. So you go through and there's like from this metal detector, and there's a guard on the other side. There's two actually. There's a man and a woman. And the woman asks to pat you down to look at what that could be. She asks, are you wearing any jewelry, anything? So she just kind of checks you over for earrings and stuff like that. Waves you over with a little metal detector type wand type thing and gets all those little bits where you might expect it, like a little wristwatch or bracelet or an earring or something like that. And then she looks through your bag, finds the tablet, and she says, oh, I'm sorry, there are no pictures here. Oh, she looks mainly to Ophelia.
Oh, it's not for pictures. She's French, you see. She's a bit old-fashioned when it comes to technology. Her mother is gravely ill. We're trying to have a phone with us wherever we go, just in case the call comes in. I don't want to mention it too much. I try to distract her a little bit with tonight.
All right, roll me that deception check.
It's my deception. She better be high. And I think I get something. Yeah, proficiency bonus is doubled. The confidence game.
Nice, yeah, you've got the con artist background, which is one of the new ones. Sweet, okay, yeah. So you're... Yeah.
I do like this class.
Is secretly my favorite class.
26.
Oof!
I rolled a
All
19.
Right. That's pretty good. That is
the tears are getting a little bit teary eyes when she mentions
tears.
the mother.
Yeah, well practiced. And she looks to wait to see her other security guard not quite looking in this direction. She's like, okay. And she puts it back in the bag quietly and kind of gives it back to you, Sunshine. And you guys just head in, ready to go. Ophelia, I imagine that Lydia, it goes off for you, and you get a bit of the wand treatment as well, just checking in. It goes off for earrings and stuff like that. But is there anything that you're trying to smuggle in?
I mean, pretty much everyone would bring their phone to something like that, I guess. If that's not allowed, that's fine. I would not bring it. We have the earpieces, but I will bring a little makeup bag with bronzer, which is really the fingerprint kit.
Nice. Yeah. So they're doing a event security glance at your bag. It's never a very thorough search, right? They're checking in and they're checking for stuff. It's a good point actually you make. Like phones are going to be allowed and stuff, aren't they? I think she probably got a bit weirded out by like tablet, this whole thing. But yeah, no, that works.
And,
so yeah, all good.
I mean, I get a garrote. I'm not even sure Ophelia would know how to use that though. In reality, like I don't think she's that much fighty fight. But I have floss in case that can be used as a garrote if push comes to shove.
Floss works for me. I think it's usually something like a piano wire. So I guess it would be metal, but as part of your kit, like it goes off. But there's going to be some metal in your bag as well, I think. So it's dismissed. Oh yeah, that's fine. That's fine. All right. Okay. Yeah. So you make your way. So as you guys walk in the front of the property, and that's actually the east side of the property itself. You're looking at the face of this house, and you can see down this like pathway flanked by these potted kind of trees. That you've got that like hallway, and you can see inside the windows and the window doors that there's that staircase that goes up. Off to your left is the buffet marquee. Off to your right are some tables with like parasols and stuff up and people chatting around them. They're actually standing height. There are no chairs here. Everyone's stood with drinks and chatting. There'll be a couple of lawn chairs somewhere around the corner in the distance, but servers moving around groups. There's probably about kind of 40 to 50 people here milling about, so it's not that crowded. And then the buffet marquee to your left has a few people there, and the bartenders I described, and some buffet food along a table as well. Let's stick with you for just a second. What did you want to do first, folks? So Ophelia and Sunshine.
Is there anything Sunshine would need to do to set up her stuff?
I mean, the first thing Sunshine's going to want to do is just try and get into the house network. So basically going to try and get the Wi-Fi password from someone.
Sure, okay. So because hacking is quite an intricate thing. So anything that's like base level that any of us could kind of do, you can just do, and all of you can. So I'm not going to get you to roll anything just yet, but you pull up the Wi-Fi, see what networks are around. You get out here, you get a weak Wi-Fi signal for what you assume to be the house network. It's going to be, in the UK at least, here we have like, that it's the brand of whoever has the ISP, and then it's the like a weird code for your hub or for your router or whatever it is. So it's just that it's like company and then a kind of weird number. So it's not like it's Campbell's 131. They didn't
rename it to Batcave.
No, they didn't. Super secret Wi-Fi too.
Oval Office.
No. Yeah.
Oval Office 2022.
Definitely. Oh, do you know what? It actually is. Fuck it. There we go. All right, the Wi-Fi is Oval 2022 or 4 or whatever. It is locked though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know anyone here, so I'm just going to look to Ophelia and see if she recognizes either of the hosts, because I would like to not have to hack the Wi-Fi. If I didn't have to, it would just be easier if we can give you the password.
I will schmooze around as is normal at a party like this. Oh my god, I haven't seen you in ages! And that sort of stuff. And try and navigate my way deliberately towards what was his name?
The guy
Not
that you
Jamal
know.
Campbell. The guy that I know,
Chad.
and the husband.
Chad.
Chad.
Chad Campbell.
Chad Campbell. So towards Campbell, actor Campbell, Chad Campbell, and weasel from hop and hop from one minor person to the more major people to the actual price.
Sure. All right. So you're gonna take some time doing that, just doing a kind of more natural mingling, and then you kind of slowly making your way towards people. That's gonna probably take a good kind of 5-10 minutes at least. McCoy Hammer, is there anything that you're doing inside the house, or with the access that you have to the kitchen, the meeting room, and then to the exterior?
McCoy, if you want to go first.
So McCoy is going to wait for Hammer to tell her that Ophelia and Sunshine are in, and then whatever small things that Sunshine and Ophelia may have given McCoy to bring into the house, she'll arrange on a tray for Hammer to take over to them out front, and she'll also have taken a break at some point on the grounds of needing to use the restroom, so that she can walk through the meeting room and see what's in there, and if there's anybody specifically standing around inside of there, making sure that nobody wanders, that kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. You head inside, and let me pull this up just a second.
Because she's staying in the kitchen, and she would have the doors that are off to the kitchen, under the pretense of looking for the bathroom, she would have gone over and opened those 3 doors just to see where they go.
Yeah, sure. So the door that so there's like 2 doors in a corner, and there's one that's like a smaller door, almost I'd call it like a cubby door, like it would be a kind of smaller thing like under your stairs or something, you know. So there's that itself, and you kind of open that door and just ajar and just peer inside, and then someone calls you out like, what the hell are you doing? Get back
Pantry?
to this basement.
That's no pantry.
No, it's
I'm looking
all
for the
here.
pantry.
It's all here. Because they've got like
Really?
foodstuffs and stuff all about. Yeah.
I would be looking for the pantry if it was all here. Right. Okay. Fine. I'll use what you have here. No worries. It'll be okay, I suppose, if they want it adequate. I suppose those are the bathrooms. And she points to the other 2 doors.
You have to go around and out to the public bathrooms out the front by the marquee.
Oh, well, that's lovely for staff. Is there a place to wash our hands there?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah, because they've utilized the kitchens in here for like prep. It's all prep sinks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's no hand wash.
And she's just looking at this guard like, this is horrid. Oh, these working conditions are just, how could they? Fine. And she kind of takes one of the knives and just thunk into the chopping board.
The chopping block.
Yep. And then walks out, just stalks past the guy, and will, make a quick perusal through the meeting room as she's on her way out to the.
Yeah. All right. So this room is set up primarily for like meetings with probably other senators, fundraisers, lobbyists, all that kind of thing. Big table, lots of chairs around, a projector and a little screen at one end of the room. It also includes a short stack of server equipment. So this looks like to be some kind of like home IT infrastructure. But there's people coming in and out of here all the time.
So she'll go into one of the porta-potties and pull a cocktail napkin out of her pocket and scribble a quick layout and label it just real quick, and then put it back in her pocket, wash her hands, go back in, and then make sure that the tray that goes out with Hammer for that's got the stuff for Ophelia and Sunshine, that one of those napkins is holding like the food or something like that, where it's not going to get messed up, but he can hand that directly to them so that they'll have that.
What I think I can do. Let's see if this works into our Twitter chat. I'm going to try and paste the image in here. So yeah, I'll give you the first floor. You know, in the UK is the ground floor at least. Yeah, perfect. All right. So that's the kind of idea that you've got from perusing your or working your way around the building. If you check your Twitters, the Twitter messages we've got going on. Yeah. So the outdoor labs are just next to the buffet marquee. So that's where you're scribbling this napkin map. And then you're handing it off to Hammer?
Yep, handing it off to Hammer to deliver to Ophelia or Sunshine, along with, you know, drinks or canapes or something. So that, you know, and it'll be a basic version of that map so that they know where the servers are and that kind of thing.
Cool. Not an issue. Yeah, you folks will be able to do that, and Hammer, you'll be able to hand that off easily to Ophelia and Sunshine as your server. Yeah, and so you can, I guess, Kat, you also mark off the kind of server stack that's in the meeting room as well. Right? Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Okay, so let's swing back to Ophelia and Sunshine. As you are just past that napkin, as you manage to get just up to Chad and his husband, Jamal. Jamal is a handsome, slightly aging, kind of silver fox, Middle Eastern man, in his late 30s. He seems extremely friendly, quite lubricated from the alcohol, and is chatting away and has a little kind of like laughing crowd around him. On his arm is his husband, Chad, and he is in his 30s and is an African-American, quite kind of trim, with very short, cropped black hair. And he's kind of laughing away and joking. And you also see Ellie, your stunt driver friend.
Then I will definitely head up to Ellie first.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's a line from the film that we've made fun of in the bar hundreds of times because it's just so fucking cliche. But I will put this, like, with the fingers, make a gun and put it in her back and go, "Hands up, sweet cheeks." With some sleazy line towards her character, well, the character she was doubling for, before that character then started beating up that random thug mercilessly. Yeah, it's just so, really, it's 21st century. So I'll introduce myself with that.
Cool. So you do that, and Sunshine, you see for just a second, there is a Caucasian guy just stood behind Jamal, very short clipped hair, and in a very kind of smart suit, standing just very poised. And just as Ophelia does that, he steps forward, pulls just his jacket, just his right side back just a little bit, and he stands with just one foot and a kind of shoulder just blocking the senator as Ophelia does this. As they then laugh and kind of the moment kind of, you know, wisps away, he like waits and then relaxes, kind of does his jacket up again with a button and step behind the senator again.
And I'll be hugging Ellie and doing the whole spiel of, "Oh, you've been, I haven't seen you in ages. Oh my god, that last thing you posted on your gram, that was, you really went to that location? How was it just hanging from the ropes there over that canyon?" And talk shop a little bit.
Yeah, of course. After a bit of kind of laughter and other chatter from the group, the senator will ask, "Hey Ellie, who's your friend?"
Oh, I'm so sorry. I forgot to introduce myself to everyone. Amanda, I just used to work in one of the really, really first and problematic ones, but I couldn't resist in stopping by and saying hi to all of you. Honor to meet you, Senator. I'm really impressed with your work, and I reach out a hand to shake his, curtsy a little bit.
He says, "Oh, thank you. I'm sure then you know my husband, Chad."
And Chad, how have you been doing? I still with the series. I can't imagine what it must be like at this point. Aren't you tired of all the fury?
"Oh, you know it pays the bills." As he says, he kind of looks up at his house.
Marvelous house it is. Absolutely glorious. I'm not asking for the Wi-Fi password when the senator is there, because he would not have it. No. No, just going into the small talk for now.
Okay, no worries. Is it a different subclass that's got the befriending thing? I think it is, actually.
I think it is. It's not on mine.
Yeah. All right. You do have something funky, though, don't you, social-wise?
I have the confidence game, so whenever I try and sell, well, a story, really, pretend to be someone else or convince someone of a course of action, that's when the proficiency bonus is doubled.
Mm-hmm. What's the celebrity one?
The fame?
Yeah.
That is with a persona, but I guess it would work here. So they would have to make a wisdom saving throw. And they have disadvantage on any form of perception check that is regarding things that aren't me. So all eyes on me sort of situation, and if anyone would want to pickpocket them or do something that, you know, they need a distraction for, that's this case, I think, the distraction.
Sure. Did you want to do that kind of distraction thing, or was it more trying to eventually get the Wi-Fi password?
I think I would try and get Chad alone for a second, if I can, because I know him better at least than, or I think I have a better chance with him than with his husband. And use the same story we did at the very beginning with the sick mother and the signal being bad, and, you know, just coverage in the States. And, yeah, you can tell your husband to maybe improve that infrastructure. And then ask for the Wi-Fi password to do a quick WhatsApp call.
Sure. Give me a persuasion test.
Mm-hmm. Persuasion is
A persuasion check.
Just 5. Where's my fantasy grounds? 14.
Okay. Yeah, so you tell him a bit of the story of, Marie's mother, grandmother, relative. And he's a little reluctant, but he's like, okay, hang on. Wait a second. He has to go into his phone and he has to, like, show password to get it. And then he, like, leans over and shows you on the phone. And it's one of those already pre-done random string of letters and numbers.
I'll mark it down. Or is Marie there as well? Like, would it be okay to sort of
She absolutely can be,
her? Yeah. I think, especially thinking that she's an actress. Like, this is Marie, by the way. Very popular in France.
Yeah, I think I've just kind of been hanging on Ophelia's arm the entire time as
Sure. Yeah.
we're going through
Cool.
this.
Yeah, so he so Chad shows you the Wi-Fi password on his phone, having like pulled down his settings and actually clicked on like show password. So you've got the string of letters and numbers that you've got there, so you can now log in to their Wi-Fi network. From there, from the basic user interface that you have access to the internet. And potentially, probably from using any of your hacking tools that you might have, you can check for other devices and stuff, if you have that. Let's have a quick look. Okay, so yeah, you have basic network access. It's going to take a infotech check to kind of dig into it anymore to see what you wanted to do. What did you want to do with the network itself?
I mean, at the moment, I just wanted access to it because
Sure.
I need it for anything remote that I'm doing.
Cool. Okay. Yep.
But once we get out of this crowd a bit, I'll probably want to do some more things with that.
Oh, by the way, where is the ladies? If that's not...
Oh, right over there. And he points over to the like porter cabin of fancy toilets.
Ah. So not in the house. That's off limits.
Yeah, he kind of confesses, like, Jamal's kind of is a bit worried given the candidacy and the
don't you worry about, especially with
relationship
the
and
recent
everything.
events. I fully understand. Don't know which events, but it's the States. There's bound to be recent events, so yeah. Don't you worry about that. I'm quite impressed that you decided to throw the party here with so many faces, so many people to scan. Did you up your security measures?
Yeah, I think it was Jamal that got in people. They're pretty good.
Is that the stern-looking man behind him?
Yeah, that's his personal security. Yeah.
Well, face could curdle milk, so I'm assuming he's good at his job. It's quite exciting, though, isn't it? The campaign trail and the general buzz.
I mean, I don't really know. I've been filming for like 6 months, so.
No paparazzo hot on your heels as the possible first husband.
Oh, sure, but the studio takes care of that. They're all outside and stuff.
Yeah. I can only assume what it's like. It's very different on my tiny little island across the sea. But I'm imagining there's probably a sniper right there and at least 5 armed security guards patrolling in the house, right? And yes, I'm totally fishing for information here in case that wasn't obvious.
All right.
I'll say that to Sam.
Yeah, roll me espionage.
Espionage, what was that again? Oh yeah. $16.
Okay. Yeah. He's like, oh no. So like, most of them are out here. There's, I think there's 4 people around the house. A couple on the downstairs, upstairs. They're keeping upstairs off limits, obviously.
Makes total sense. You don't want people rifling through your private belongings. Bad enough with all the hacking going on these days and the leaks and everything. You can barely trust and use your devices anymore. Anyway, I'll see you later. I'm just powdering my nose. And as I'm
Okay.
wandering off and there's no one around me, I'll pass on the information, Ophelia, to the rest of the Hamlet cast. It is but most likely that you'll find armed security guards inside. Upstairs is off limits. He said 4, if I remember correctly. No snipers, though. That's good, right? Good luck. And off in the porta-potty, the fancy porta-potty.
All right. But you guys have radio, so if you want to chat, I'm wondering what our next course of action is. We've got about another hour left of the session. What's the plan of attack?
Well, we need to ascertain where the computer is, right? The first thing we need to know is what room it is, and if it's in his bedroom, if he has an office. And so I'm trying to ascertain where those rooms are. And so was I able to pull any information from real estate records about the layout of the house earlier?
Yeah, for sure. So you've got the first floor plan as I posted it there, and then I'll get you the second floor plan. The not really a surprise, but the other notable thing to say is that in that plan also contains a basement,
which we have access to from the kitchen, correct?
Well, the door is in the kitchen there, yes. Whether you're allowed access or not, it's kind of a different matter. But yeah, you could feasibly get in under there through the kitchen door.
All right. Well, if I will get on the radio, and I'm gonna Hammer's gonna he's gonna drop down behind a tray, pretend like he's picking something up.
Mm-hmm.
And Ophelia. Well, I can't whisper to the mic. McCoy. I think the basement requires a little bit of study. Can you come cover the kitchen while I go down in the basement just for a moment?
McCoy's been in the kitchen. That's where she's.
Okay, so okay, I didn't know if we were in and out and rolling around, dropping stuff off.
Hammer is McCoy's been staying in the kitchen as part of the prep so that she can keep an eye on the meeting room and those doors there.
Okay, so I'm gonna saunter up next to you then and pretend like I'm putting stuff on a tray, and Hammer whispers to McCoy, "Gonna explore the basement. I need you to cover me for just a second, if we can get
Not a problem. Yep, not a problem. And what she's going to do is there a guard actually staying in the kitchen, or who stopped her when she was opening the door earlier?
Well, that was actually I thought it was just a chef, right? So there's a guard who occasionally wanders through the house, but they seem to be doing like laps, you know. It's a guard just outside the kind of the backyard part of the property, and then as it's kind of on the map, there's like 4 guards that are patrolling. You know that.
And Hammer's looking for patterns. He is looking for patterns if there is any sort of time where there's a longer, interval in between when guards walk through the place. And if there's not, then he'll pick the time where a guard comes in and goes out to get the longest amount of time he can explore.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm going to make it easy. Why don't you roll for me an infiltration check, because that is perfect. So a couple of the knowledge skills I've translated from 5e have become infiltration and espionage. So espionage is about like the gathering information and stuff. Infiltration is about figuring out those patterns, figuring out where guards are going to go or how you're going to get into something.
McCoy would be able to distract the chef that stopped her earlier so that Hammer could slip in by asking an involved question about.
For sure.
So total is 16.
That's really good, right? So yeah, so there's basically kind of one guard, the same guard, who's just kind of doing little laps of the first floor. Otherwise, everyone else is outside. There'll be a couple more guards around, either in the basement or upstairs. But yeah, that's what you've got. So it's a night. You've got
the door locked?
No. You've got plenty of time. So McCoy, I imagine will have let you know that she already tried to kind of get down there, and when she opened the door, the chef was a bit kind of shocked, but a bit kind of like, "What the hell are you doing?"
Got it. Okay, so we're gonna try to find the most opportune time when nobody's looking. The guard has just exited on his rounds, and
Sure.
Hammer's gonna slip into the stairs to the basement.
All right. What I would like is a stealth check then. This is going to be with advantage because both McCoy is helping you and you've worked out the kind of infiltration of it too. So this is just to make sure the chef, this is going to be DC 10, like his passive perception. Because, yeah, McCoy's giving you that kind of cover of like asking about something particular, trying to turn his back, that kind of thing.
Roger, okay. So we've got an 11 and a 4.
So that 11 is good enough for you to, as McCoy turns the chef round a little bit, you just open the door really quietly and just slip down into the basement. You head down some stairs and it's just a very kind of narrow little, basement corridor down. And then there's a door left and right of you.
Door left and right. Do they look as if they go to the same place or separate places?
They look like they go to separate places, probably. They're directly opposite each other. They've got a very similar look to them, though, kind of like a kind of white painted wood. The one on the left is looking just a little bit dirtier than the one on the right.
Okay, I'm wondering if one is a wine cellar. Might have a drink while we're doing this. I'm going to go ahead and turn to the right then, and I'm going to look for Hammer's going to look for cameras and see if there's anything, motion detectors, cameras, or any of that kind of stuff down here.
Okay, roll me perception.
All right, and that's going to be an 11.
Okay. You don't see anything here in the corridor as such, and you check around maybe the frames of the doors to see if there's any kind of security camera, laser type stuff around. You don't think there's anything here in the direct vicinity of the basement.
All right, so pulling his I would assume I have like latex gloves or those little nylon things to handle food with, maybe.
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
going to pull a couple of those out. I'll put them on and I'll try the door on the right to see if it opens.
Sure, and it does. And you have a little look inside, and this is fairly modern looking. Well, kind of in the darkness, you can just make out like a desk, some bookshelves with books and files and stuff on them. Some of those kind of IKEA storage shelving as well. You've got little kind of boxes, a few of them in there as well. But there's no lights on in here just yet. And you've kind of just got the light from the corridor that you're in. That's just illuminating a little bit of what you can see.
All right. Do I have perhaps a lighter that lights those dishes to keep them hot, or any of those kind of things, or am I without a light source?
You could have certainly grabbed one of those chafing dish, fuel things. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Exactly. You know what I'm talking about. So
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So Hammer's gonna light one of those and see if he can see more.
Sure. Okay. So there is a light switch on the wall next to you, but from the almost kind of candle light that you've given this, you look into the study. In the middle of the study, you've got this desk, and then on that is a closed laptop. There's some files and paperwork and stuff on the desk. There's also, as I described, these bookshelves with some kind of document files, those kind of big manila folders, stuff like that, as well as some books and some kind of storage boxes.
Ooh, this is the kind of make or break moment, I think. Does Hammer make a play for the laptop and bring it upstairs? I think that has to be the play. I don't think we're going to be able to sneak our hacker downstairs. Hammer's going to walk over to where the laptop is.
Okay.
And is it connected to an Ethernet cable and mouse and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so it's connected to an Ethernet cable. It has a little I imagine like a little Bluetooth mouse, just a little one sat next to it. But at the moment, it's closed, so it's either sleeping or it's been switched off.
All right. So Hammer will. Wow. This. You know what? I'm gonna leave it. I don't want to set off any alarms. So Hammer's gonna exit the study, and he's gonna get on his radio. The laptop's been located. It's in the basement, right-hand side door, and he'll just go back up the stairs. He's gonna open the door slightly.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to look at McCoy to see if there's any sort of signal to stay back or to continue forward. McCoy, I'm coming up. Is it clear?
McCoy would go back over to the chef. I'm so sorry. No, that was wrong. It's first the shavings, then the oh crap. Oh, and the servers in the meeting room are just, I know those servers are pausing in the meeting room and just messing with these trays. And she's distracting the cook, and she's also passing on the information about the servers in the meeting room with the guards, so that Sunshine knows where the servers are, so that they can, if they need to access the home network.
So you got that little, like, you flick your radio on for a bit so people can hear, and you've got that little kind of double speak going on. Hammer, it gives you an opportunity to head out of that door that you just slip out of and just close the door in behind you. Now you're a server here again in the kitchen. What do you folks all want to do next?
Oh, we need to get Sunshine into the house somehow.
Yeah, I think I'd like to at least try, now that I'm connected to the network, try and see if I can figure out how many other devices are connected to the network.
Yeah, for sure. Have a little chat again. I'll go bio real quick, but have a little chat about what you want to do next, and then as soon as I'm back, we'll jump straight back in, and we'll figure out what you're going to do.
How good is McCoy's French accent?
McCoy's second language is French.
Wonderful. Because I think it's time for an emergency. For our poor little Marie needing some space as she processes. How fatal are we going to make it? Is it a melodrama, or is there a chance of a happy ending? Let's just say the near fatal.
Let's not go.
I'm not killing off your real mother, dear. I mean, but I appreciate being method. Near fatal accident of during the surgery of poor Marie Etienne's mother. She needs a little space. Yeah.
That she just got word that perhaps the mother was taken from recovery directly to ICU, and her condition has been downgraded.
Yes. French doctor. Yes, French doctor. Just make it French. How well can you cry on command, Sunshine?
Ooh.
Sunshine just like 2 seconds, and then just burst into tears.
I am impressed. Yeah, this could work. This could work.
Darling house debutante.
Yeah.
Then shall we try the angle of that story, getting her into a safe room inside the house where she can have a moment to herself?
Sit down at the table, have McCoy bring her some water, that type of thing. Sunshine is having difficulty understanding the doctor. How would McCoy come in on this besides bringing her water to help cover?
Well, hopefully it's not like a big entourage that will form. I'm gonna try to shield Sunshine from that.
Okay.
So ideally it's just gonna be me.
Is Sunshine going to try and access the home network through her tablet? Since the servers are right there, or
Sorry.
Can you hear us
Sorry,
all
my
right?
internet's gone a little shit. Yeah, I can hear you, but you broke up just for a second. I just as you were asking something.
can Sunshine? Is Sunshine going to try and access the home servers on her tablet?
Yes.
Okay, so it would be under the pretense of speaking with the French doctor.
Yeah, so I need
Because-
someone on the other end of the line speaking French.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that would be McCoy. That's what I'm saying. You're just gonna
Right.
call Sunshine's main phone, the brick thingy, and that's, how we get her away.
Okay, so they come into the. We'll get you into the meeting room, where you can have some privacy. McCoy will walk through on the excuse of going to the bathroom. Hammer can bring them water, and McCoy will make the phone call from one of the porta-potties.
All right.
While Sunshine is on the pretext of taking this call from the French doctor, is trying to access the home servers on her tablet.
All right. So
No. I mean,
No?
the French doctor. You'd have to call in first for us to give us a reason
Right.
to even get inside. That,
Yeah. Okay.
and then we
So,
can just
yeah.
play it by ear.
All right. We'll do that then. So,
So-
go ahead.
Yeah. So as we're heading back to Chad and Jamal and do some more schmoozing. We're
Yeah.
gonna have the emergency situation become the thing.
cool.
With McCoy, who speaks French, calling
Nice.
as Marie-Etienne's French doctor who is taking care of her poor ailing mother. And
Yeah.
the situation has worsened overnight, and she needs to immediately come back home, make arrangements, and that naturally is such a deep, traumatic, tragic experience that poor Marie-Etienne needs a little bit of alone time. And since there's all the people outside having a good time, partying, music is getting a little bit louder as well, and everyone starts to have a good time and start dancing. Well, if we could maybe go inside of the house to so she can take that call, and the connection's so bad, just take the call and
It's quieter. She needs.
And
little
Hammer has a
privacy,
backup plan
emotional.
for you.
Cool.
Hammer's
all right.
backup plan is to spill water and pick a fight with somebody in front of the guards if this doesn't work.
Well, so we're looking for like 45 minutes left. So I am going to fast forward us to you, Sunshine and Ophelia sat in the meeting room, having access to these servers. There's a guard outside, and McCoy, you're in the guest lavatories on the phone speaking French. to her on a
Yes, the
tablet.
French doctor.
Right. Okay. So you've made your way through to that plan. So now, I guess, if you want, now that she's alone, you can kind of like cut the pretense. And yeah, you guys are here now with access to the server. What do you folks want to do?
So they're in the meeting room then,
Yeah.
with access
Where do you want
to
to
the
be,
server.
Hammer? Yeah.
I would like to be around the tables to the west, where the guard
Uh-huh.
is by the door.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be, I will have whatever drinks and hors d'oeuvres and food. If said guard tries to go inside of the room, then it will be the Hammer plan of picking a fight with somebody by spilling on them and making them pick the fight with me first.
Sure. All right.
Hammer down.
There it is. Definitely will
with
touch
the feet-
this. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay, with Ophelia and Sunshine in the room and with access to the servers that you're all logged into as well. Sunshine, what do you like to do with the server?
So I'm going to try and get into it. I'm just assuming it's encrypted. There's got a firewall.
Sure. Let me pull up my.
So I would like.
Yeah. So you.
That's something that can get me through.
Yeah.
Firewalls.
So you try to log into the server, and it does require a password access. You, because you're a hacker, have some of your own hacking actions that you can do. One of them is bypass, and bypass allows you to just get past a password firewall quite happily. If you want to try and disable it so that other people can get through as well, then you've also got hacking tools that you can use, a bit like spells, and you can use those to do some damage to the firewalls.
Ooh.
Okay, for now I just want to try and get past myself.
Try and get past, yeah? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, you're going to roll for me. Let me double check. Yeah, here we are, sunshine. Yeah, so bypass, you're going to roll an intelligence check for me. Obviously, you're going to add your proficiency. So you can use your infotech skill rating there of +5 for this. So you roll that check for me with a +5 modifier, and we'll try and get past this file.
Okay, that is hurt.
Oh, we didn't quite get that. Sorry, Julia.
Yeah, sorry, my Wi-Fi is coming and going. 13?
13. Yeah, okay. So you managed to break through using some kind of basic admin passwords, and you managed to get access to the server itself. You've got stacks of files and stuff here, so you've got a whole access to a couple of hard drives worth of stuff. Unfortunately, all of this on the server is encrypted, so you, the way that you've got in through your tablet, you can't read this information at the moment. But you know that there are lots of different files. A lot of the file extensions are those. There's a certain file extension that I know of for like banking records and like tax records that are used for certain accounting software and stuff. So some of these extensions, some of the file types you recognize as financial documents. What would you like to do next?
Okay. I'm looking for the things with the financial. I'm looking to see if there's like any pattern to it. Like if he does this regularly, or if he saves them in any sort of order, and then anything that diverges from that pattern.
Yeah, but nothing you can read right now. It's all in a kind of cipher. So it all looks, even the file names and stuff all look like gobbledygook because it's encrypted.
Right, can I see like dates or anything? Or
nothing at all, no. So you have a kind of couple of options here, really. So you've got a couple of... Oh, go on.
And I would like to then try and bust through the encryption firewall.
Sure, okay. So you've got a couple of...
do that.
Yeah. So some of your hacking tools you have down there, you've got either Dave's tool, which deals some coding damage, Or you also do have you have an attack action under your hacking class feature, and that just does a D4 of damage. But so it's up to you. You can have a certain amount of like things running at the same time on your tablet, but just using Dave's tool shouldn't be a problem as an action, and keeping that going for a little while.
That says it's a manual, so would I have to be at the computer itself, or can I do that from the tablet?
Yeah, so you're like you are manually connected, so you can do that from here.
Okay.
Cool.
So yeah, I'll just start running that.
Cool. Okay, so you start running Dave's tool. So roll me a d6. Let's see how much damage you do in this action.
6.
Okay. Just checking up on HP. Okay. Nice. Nice amount. Okay. So as that's working away, you start to see bits of data decrypt. You start to see quite a few like banking records, deposit records, and stuff like that. Well, you also see some like incoming data to the server that you managed to snag, and it's an email that you managed to snag, and you open it up. I'm gonna just head to the next a few other people, as kind of that is your action this round. As Hammer outside and McCoy, Ophelia, if you're on the lookout for guards and whatever. You do see the guards that you can see get little pings on their phones, on their smartphones, and each one of them whip it out from a pocket, wherever they're carrying it, and they have a kind of flick through, and they kind of swipe a few times, kind of taking a second, looking at something, and then they start looking around the party.
Does any one of us see that?
Yeah, Hammer most certainly sees that, because you, Sarah, stood right opposite one of these guards, right outside the door, right? And I think, Lydia, if you're like, if you're stood around near the windows trying to get an angle on some guards, maybe you see one of those off in the distance, like one of the patrolling guards around the party itself. McCoy, you're still in the lavatory, but I imagine that at this point, we don't need the French doctor anymore. So as you're making your way out of these lavatories, you see, as you're walking through back around and back to the west side of the house, a couple of these guards who are patrolling. You see one pulling out a phone. You think that's a bit weird. They're just like checking their phone on duty, and then you look over at the other one, and they're checking their phone too. And they're doing that thing. They're looking and they're checking something, swiping, checking something, swiping, having a little glance around, checking something, swiping, and then once they put it away, they start actively like looking around the party.
Do we all see that? Does anyone see that? I think our cover is kaput.
Hang up. You just hear McCoy going, hang up. Oh, something was. I should not have tried that. Oh, and she's going to walk over and throw up on a guard.
Nice. All right. I'm going to give you the first action, and then we'll roll for some initiative. All right. So it's just why don't you do some like unarmed damage to this guard? So you
some acid damage.
Some dignity damage.
All right, acid damage.
She's actually what she's doing is the phone. She's trying to get the phone nasty so that he can't.
Okay. I want you to roll for me a sleight of hand check, and if you succeed, I'll let you do 1d4 acid reflux damage.
Okay. Sleight of hand. Oh. Okay, here we go. Come on, dice. That'll be an 18.
All right. Yeah, that's good. It's good. All right, you snag the phone. You also do a d4 of acid reflux damage to this one girl.
That's only
Jeez.
one.
Okay,
only one
that's
point.
fine. It kind of splashes on his suit, and he's a bit annoyed. What have they
She's
got?
like,
That's the point.
"Oh, we need to recall the some of the food. I think something's gone off."
Yeah. Oh my god. Where did I put these guns?
Because nobody wants the senator to get sick.
Nobody wants the senator to get sick. That's true. He did 1 damage. Okay. All right. All right. I need everyone to roll initiative for me. Yeah.
All right. Hammer comes in with a 15.
Oh,
You can't get 30.
no, it's what happens when you roll a d29.
Ooh.
Nice. Okay.
But it's a 16 now.
All right.
6 from McCoy.
Okay. Well, Julie, can you roll your initiative for me, a d20? Add your dex modifier. McCoy was a 6. Lydia, that was a 16, wasn't it?
Yes.
Kevin, what'd you get, mate?
15.
15.
19.
19. Oof. And I rolled a 17. Okay. So Julia, it's actually your go first. So you have an opportunity to do a bit more hacking stuff as an action. So I'll also, as well, if you want to, you can either do some damage again to this hacking thingy, or use another one of your tools, or you can read the email that has just been intercepted, if you'd like.
Ooh.
Did you hear that? Julia?
I'm sorry, I did not catch almost any of that.
That's all right. Let's go again. Right. So there's a couple options here. So obviously you could use one of your hacking tools, like Dave's tool again, do some damage to the firewall. Or as an action, you could read the email that you've managed to intercept.
And to keep it to a owner's just in the background.
Sorry, I didn't get much of that either this time around.
You can quickly
I'm so
type it
sorry.
in the mixed chat as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, that's what I was going to
Do
say.
I have to
Yeah,
Two
Sam,
choices.
just have a look at the VMix stuff.
Yeah. All right. While you're typing there, I want to carry on a little bit with. There we go. Thanks, Kev, for that. I want to carry on with the guards for just a bit. So, so for Hammer, you see a guard, obviously opposite you, like clock you almost instantly, and
Ouch.
yeah, clock as in like make you, right? Like,
Oh,
you know.
sorry. I was doing American colloquialism where you clock means hit me hard.
He's about to try. All right, so yeah, he goes in to try and like suppress you. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna roll an attack here.
Does my close quarters combat skill give me any advantages?
Not for the AC, I don't think, but for attacks, it does.
Okay.
That's all right. He rolled a 1. It's fine. He doesn't hit you at
Ooh.
all. How do you like
Fantastic.
slyly dodge out of the way?
Say that again.
How do you slyly dodge out of the way of this attack?
Okay,
Does
so,
he come
I mean,
try and like
Yeah,
grab you?
obviously. So I mean, obviously I'm really close to him as he gets this message on the phone, and just as he's looking up, he fumbles his phone maybe a little bit as he's putting it away to try to punch me in the face, and I see this right hand coming, and I just kind of literally, as his hand goes straight by my nose, I just kind of reflex and back up just a bit, and then when it's my turn, I am going to try and dip into the meeting room and then wait for him to come through the door and just out of a Western, take him by his collar and his pants and throw him across the meeting room table. Yeah, we're going straight Western.
Sweet. All right, I'll come back right to that after we've got Sunshine through the action there. So, yeah, Julia, you're reading the email that's come through. So let me give you a little quick story time here, and then we'll get back into the action for sure. So, okay, you read, Senator Campbell. Our understanding has been long-standing and fruitful. As such, we wish for it to continue for the foreseeable future. With that in mind, we ask that you be more mindful about security, especially around your husband. We have attached information on a group of individuals who we believe to be foreign agents who wish to use your partner's connections to gain access to you. Should they discover our arrangement, this could cause harm to both your reputation in the eyes of your voters, as well as how we are perceived ourselves. As I send this email, the security forces assigned to you are being informed of the potential breach and will double down on ensuring your security and safety and security from now on. I implore you to keep up with your donations and accept your generous cut of the money, while I will continue our role of directing Rubly Logistics in their work. We have further information on this matter here in our offices, and we would ask you make arrangements to come visit us as fits your schedule. And it is signed Mr. Todd Ballick, Chief Executive Officer of Globe Oil Industries, California. And I'll paste that for you in Phoenix, just so we definitely got it. Got email.
Since I'm doing this on a tablet, can I just screen grab this email immediately?
Absolutely, you can, yeah, for sure. And attached are your faces. Taken as if from like a telescopic lens of maybe a paparazzi camera or something. Ophelia has like 5 images, and they're all from like some, press junkets and like video, like YouTube interviews and stuff like that. So she's got a few.
Glamour shot.
Yeah. There's your agency headshot too, or her agency headshot too. Not spy agency, acting agency. Very confusing. All right, yeah.
Spy
so
agency
all of your
doesn't need a full body bikini shot, I assume.
now I want to invent a spy agency that's also an acting agency.
I'm here for it.
Anyway,
That's
we'll
a
get
TV
the
show.
course. Yeah, we'll figure it out after. We'll slide in look. All right, nice. Okay, so yeah, so that is your action. Do you want to do anything else, maybe with your move, or any other kind of like bonus actions you might be able to do there, Julia? Anything?
Well, I don't want to be like super obviously just sitting at a table. So yeah, get up, grab my tablet, and kind of move to the corner alongside them, like immediately. Obviously.
I got most of that. Just which corner did you want to head to? We'll get there. We'll clarify in chat. All right, I'll move down the list then. So guards have kind of gone. So actually, it is Ophelia. Lydia, what do you want to do?
I'm assuming that Sunshine would have told us roughly the gist of the email and that our cover is blown, which is what Ophelia has been assuming already, with them looking around as if to look for someone specific. I think we need to get out. And she will say that, just out, everyone. Any exit, just get the fuck away from this.
We're burned.
Look out.
And she will look for McCoy to see whether McCoy is in a position to get out safely or is getting herself into trouble, as always. What is happening with McCoy?
Ah, that's you.
McCoy.
McCoy, wife, what are you doing?
She's being silent so no one knows where she is.
Apparently. Can you hear us, Cat?
Yeah, I can hear you. Sorry, I had myself muted. McCoy has just finished speaking on a guard over by the porta-potties.
Sure, speaking, yeah.
Yeah, at the gate, and is trying to get his attention in that by, something's gone off with the food. There's something wrong with the food. Oh no. Oh God, the senator. Kind of thing. And she's got her mic on because she's been using the phone, so everybody would have heard her say that. But she's keeping her head down and just, she's doing this.
How's the guard reacting? Because that was one of the guards that knows the faces, right?
After she threw up on his phone. Yeah.
Well, I reckon he hasn't. This is like 10 minutes ago. I've forgotten. So I reckon that you made that move. Actually, I reckon you made that move after he had checked his phone. So as he's kind of like brushing off his suit and you've turned, he's suddenly like, hang on a second, this is you. So yeah, he's not quite pursued yet. I didn't make that action as part of their turn. I'm not going to now. But so Lydia, in terms of what you can see, McCoy is about to be rounded on by the other guard that's patrolling the kind of this southeastern side of the kind of area.
So there's not that many viewers there. She took him aside, right?
Yeah.
I didn't mention it specifically, so totally cool if you say no. But did we bring some form of sort of mace sleep spray situation?
No sleep spray. We didn't have substances. Unless McCoy has something in her equipment, I don't know.
No, McCoy's just got. She didn't bring any. She brought knives and she brought
I'm not gonna stab a guy.
Oh,
bad
no
for my
chloroform
career.
to put on the napkins to wrap around his face and put him down.
She wasn't anticipating that. She wasn't anticipating a need for any of that because this was supposed to be
a good headlock will do.
Yeah.
She's got knives.
Knives will do it.
That's a little scary.
Yeah.
All right, Lydia, it's your turn. What do you want to do?
Yeah. Fuck it. Big red shiny button. Because they're a little bit further outside and I'm hoping nobody will see that for now, I will take a heavy object and try and bludgeon the guy. That is recognizing
just
McCoy.
On the other side of those. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Just a random one of the awards that Chad won when he was still a respectable actor, or maybe the best stunt kids award situation, and just bang.
Yes. All right.
Take his Rotten Tomatoes trophy and beat him with it.
Yeah.
For that.
Golden tomato. Right. Roll me an attack.
With my -1 strength.
Yeah.
This trophy's heavy.
I should not be. Yeah, it is. I should not be doing this. So that's. Do I get a proficiency with trophies? Because hey.
Cool. Improvise weapons. So what? It's a +1 overall, right?
Well, it's -1 from the strength, so I guess it's a nothing. It's just a straight D20
proficiency is
roll.
+2.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So yourself a +1 at least.
Oh, I can type. Oh, it wasn't a 19 and then it became a 9. So 10.
I mean, you try and bludgeon this guy, and he just rolls because he's obviously tried to hit Hammer, and you actually crack him on the shoulder, but hit his undercover vest that's underneath his jacket. So it kind of you make contact, but it kind of you can tell it's absorbed that. Kevin, my man, it is over to you now as Ophelia's rushed up, tried to smack this guy, and you want to full on Wild West him into the table.
Yes. So I'm gonna go. Hammer's gonna take him by his collar and his pants, and chuck him down the length of the table.
Cool. All right.
Classic move.
I could treat this like a grapple, right? But if you
Yeah.
actually succeed against him, you can do some improvised damage as well.
Okay. I am an 80s character. That's what we do.
Exactly, right? So yeah, let's go for it. So I'm gonna have to roll off here. So you're looking to beat a 9.
I'm kind of yoked with my 5 strength on this. Oh yeah, that's a 12. Let's go.
Okay. Yeah, so roll a d6 for me. Screw it.
All right. So that is going to be a 3, and if I get any modifier, +3.
So
So 6 total.
Yeah, right. You straight up like throw this guy right across the table. He lands like, and there's a kind of gap between him and like a sideboard. Or between this like table and sideboard, but he doesn't even like drop down. He straight on smacks into that sideboard, like crunching his like face and neck, and then just flops down, not having been knocked out.
Outstanding. Let's move to the next one. Hammer time.
All right. So it is McCoy's turn. Finally, we're at the bottom of the round. So, Kat, what did you want to do?
All right, so McCoy is the mixed-use potties. There's the back gate that they came in, and there was the guard there. That's the one that she threw up on. So when he says something, she reaches into her pocket. She's got that knife, and yeah, she's just gonna go for it.
You gonna throw it, or are you gonna like run up?
No, she's right up and against him. Because she just threw up on him, so she's right in melee range. So yeah, she's gonna cut. She's going for a vital organ. This is going between the ribs, up into the heart. She hopes, or under the sternum into the aorta.
This is the fun, like almost singular offensive thing that medics can do, which is I think it was like vital parts. I can't quite remember the title. But it's a bit like a sneak attack. So long as you're using a finesse weapon, like a blade, like a little knife like this, like you know where to hit people. So when you do, it like deals an extra d6 damage, and that improves over levels and time.
Yeah.
So
Trauma surgeon, it pays.
yeah.
All right, let's see if I can do this. Oh, that's a. Now I have to look at my modifiers. What did? That is a 13.
That hits.
Okay.
Do this guy
So a
some
D4
damage.
plus a D6
Or
plus
your
1.
d6. Yeah.
Oh, this could be ugly. That's 9 points of damage.
All right. Describe how you dispatch this guard.
It is again. It goes. She's standing there. He's been looking at his phone. He looks up, says, "You're one of them." And at that point, the knife goes. She knows where those vests end, and the knife goes in one of the sides, and it goes right into that left ventricle, and then back out again.
Man.
And he's got 2 heartbeats and doesn't make sound. And she, as he starts to drop, she catches him, and you hear very quiet. Everybody hears very quietly in their ears. Out the garage, back gate, now, move it. And she's going to look like she's assisting him, like he got ill. 'Cause he's covered in vomit. like she's assisting him to go sit down against the fence while she's waiting for the others to come to the gate.
Yeah, all right. Use your rest of your movement to like drag him along.
Ophelia's still standing there with the award in her hand.
That's beautiful.
Doesn't quite know what to do and just takes it with her.
All right.
But Hammer would know which doors in the kitchen were the ones to the garage, so that's what she is out to the garage back gate now.
Yeah. All right. So so we're back up at the top of the round. We're going to do one last little round here for the last 5 minutes. Julia, what is your turn going to look like? You have an opportunity here, I think, to copy the data at least very quickly, even in its encrypted form, and hop out of here with your move. Or you can just straight up try and like dash away to make sure that you get away, I think. It's kind of 2 options. What would you like to do?
Yeah, no, I want to try and copy the data.
Right, so you spend your action copying the data. I just want to check if you need to make a modify action or not. Yes. All right. So with a clone tool that you have, we're going to need you to make a DC 10 intelligence check plus your proficiency. So it'll be your +5 as usual. If you're successful, you copy over the data of the entire hard drive. It's ready to go. And then we can encrypt it back at the RV or back at base.
14.
Okay, awesome. So you make quick work of the clone tool copying over everything. It's basically just a proper copy paster of the whole hard drive. It's now on your tablet, and I can even imagine like you're looking over to Ophelia and you're like, we're ready, let's go, kind of thing, right? And yeah. Where did you want to head from here? McCoy's mentioned the garage, and that's just below, just the south of you in the kitchen, and then again, kind of to the right, and you'll be in there. You'll be able to manage to get out that way, and that's towards the back gate. Or you can join back up with Hammer and Ophelia to try and kind of group back up again, if you like.
No, I've got the stuff. I want to get out of here, so yeah, right. I'm going for the garage.
Cool. Okay, so you whip round the kitchen, and as you kind of bust in, the chefs are looking kind of like surprised. You know, there's a server that's probably dropped a whole plate of hors d'oeuvres as you rush through, and you go to the right and like barge through that door to get into the garage, and you see a beautiful sports car just in front of you, and then another kind of like black sedan that's kind of done up in looks very kind of stately, you know, and then you're rushing to those garage doors, smashing the garage door open button to get it open. We're going to go back over to the guards. There is one more guard who has head from the north round the corner to look for you guys, and sees you to Ophelia and Hammer there, and rushes towards you. She actually pulls out a like a nightstick thing, like an extender one. It's like a baton that just flicks out, and then she's advancing towards you. I'm going to make one attack here, just for a quick one. Against Ophelia, that is just going to be a 8 or 9, I think.
That doesn't actually hit. I duck out of the way.
Nice, okay. Like duck out of the way, and it is your turn now, Lydia.
And I take the bronzer box out from my bag and in her face to try and blind her. Nice. If you want to count this either as a help action for Hammer, or
yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, something like that. Help action for Hammer, so he gets advantage on the attack.
All right. And what about your move? Moving anywhere?
Then keep running. I want out. Our cover is blown. We need to get out and reassemble in a somewhat safe location.
All right.
And she's panicking about her career being over, obviously.
That's all right. Hammer, it's over to you, my friend.
All right, so Hammer, seeing this little powder get sprayed in the guard's face, mutters something about how everybody's a nail. He kicks the guard with the front kick in the chest as hard as he can,
All right, let's
to
try and do that.
Yep.
Well, that's
A front kick, and that's
Okay,
going to
so
be what I have a +3 modifier, right? A 16 and a 9. So with advantage, a 16.
Yeah, nice. That hits.
Yeah.
All right. Do me that D4 damage plus your strength modifier.
All right. So the D4 with the 3 is going to be, those little triangles hide in your dice box.
Yeah,
All right,
those
there
ones.
they are. They really
We
do.
upped.
All right.
Decided to up the unarmed damage in this game because it just felt better for the genre,
Right.
Because you get like 1 bludgeoning damage normally, and then like your strength modifier. But this was a bit
That's going
more
to be
like
it's going to be a 7. Total of 7.
7 total. Nice. All right, tell me how you just like one-shot this guy too.
No. So Hammer absolutely watches the dust get poured into this guard and literally nonchalantly launches a front kick, catching the guard in the solar plexus, who on the way down expels all the air and can't inhale and just falls unconscious to the ground. Hammer, again, muttering about how everybody's a nail, smiles at Ophelia.
Winded. Yeah.
And just walks nonchalantly towards the garage.
All right, cool. So half your movement. All right, Kat, we're gonna go down to McCoy next. What are you up to? So you're heading along this toilet block, right? Look to the south.
Right. She's over by the gate, by the back gate, with this guard.
Yeah.
And what she's done is kind of, as she's waiting for them to come out, she's moving this guy kind of over in that direction a little bit, but not all the way, because she doesn't want to move him very far. Because as soon as everybody shows up, they're running. But she's making it look like she's helping this guy towards the lavatory, but moving very slowly. Obviously, this guy is kind of cumbersome, whatever. And she's watching for anybody to come around from the buffet marquee, and for people coming out of the garage. And as soon as she sees all three of her teammates, she's just going to drop the guy and book it out the gate.
All right, yeah, you do. So, folks, we have one last person on the gate. This is the woman that asked you for ID and this, that, and the other when you and Hammer arrived at the as like the server and the chef.
I thought that was the guard that she did just take out, the one on the back gate.
No, so that guard had actually come around from the north of the garden of the house.
Okay.
So there's still
Were there any
guard.
keys on hooks as we walked through the garage or through there? Are there any keys on hooks? Do we notice?
No. So there's no.
He
keeps their keys next to their car.
Oh, okay. So
I think you should check your home security.
I've seen it.
She does. She's got her head down. She's kind of helping this guy with her arm around him, and she's like, "Something's in the food. Something's in the food. He needs help."
Okay, so this woman starts heading over to you, but she's got like a hand. It's still holstered, but she's got like a hand on the grip of a taser by her side, and she's kind of like walking over to you, and she's giving you this kind of quizzical look of like of familiarity.
Yeah, well, she's got
just as the other three. Now that the garage door has been opening, like ducked under, and I'm going to say that you, the three of you, have now you're just there, and you see this guard approaching McCoy, like phaser, Jesus, taser ready.
Hey, it is set to stun.
Phaser now. It's a phaser. It's canon.
McCoy's gonna. I was gonna say McCoy's gonna try and launch the guard, just kind of give him a shove to block into the one that's coming at her.
Okay, cool. So I mean, he's a weight and he's gonna slump, but yeah, you can spend your action pushing this guard towards them. So it's again a kind of a help action for anyone who wants to then try and take out the guard that's on the back gate. Cool. All right. Well, let's head up to the top of the round then back to Julia. So, Julia, you're with Ophelia and you're with Hammer. Just outside the garage door, as it's been half open now and is still continuing to draw upwards, hugging your tablet, I imagine. You've got this guard in front of you that's approaching McCoy. What would you like to do? I think you're muted.
Oh, you're muted. Muted.
She's staring at the guard menacingly.
Yeah, just stare him down. So I'm not going to do very good for hitting people. Shiny button. Can I hotwire the car?
You can certainly try. So you head back in. You can certainly like just kind of get in the door. I'm not going to get you to roll to kind of lockpick or anything. Let's say you get into the sports car door. I'm going to need a intelligence mechanics check for you to hotwire this car. And the DC for this, I'm going to put at 15. It's a quick job, and you've got to try and do it first time. So let's do what you roll.
15?
15. Did you score a 15?
I rolled a 10 and bonus.
Oh, that was scary.
Yeah, we got a bit robot-y. So a 10 and a +5 modifier. Was that? Patchy.
You can always take the sub event as something.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it was written. I took the sub event more as the turning on everyone. But yeah, sure. So as part of the no, it's fine. It's fine. It's actually part of the adventure. So I was cheating.
Oh.
However, I will. So I will take that. I will take that. Seeing as we're starting to wrap up. So yeah, the big boon for the sub drive. Julia, means that you do indeed hear a vroom, vroom from the car as you
go.
Rev the sports car.
And out.
Yeah.
I do have vehicle proficiency if that's needed.
There you go. Cars. Okay, so let's do. I'm going to do this guard here that is approaching you now. And having seen her buddy get like tossed towards her, and I imagine he's like quite bloodstained at this point. Where you having gone in for
mean, if he's, it all depends on what he's wearing. I mean, if he's, because she went in on the suit, so if he's wearing a dark suit and everything, it just looks wet, and he's covered in puke, and vomit. So she's like, he's ill. Take him. I can't hold him up anymore. And she's trying to like push him towards her to use him as a shield to keep him between her and the woman, so she can't. Figuring the woman's gonna reach for the guard rather than try to pull the taser.
Sure. Okay. So she gets confused by the throw. So she's confused. She's not actually going to act. She's going to try and, as an act, kind of her action is going to be kind of grabbing her fellow guard and like pulling down and seeing what's going on. The realization on her face as you folks like scramble in the car, I guess, and then having Sunshine having now probably sat in the passenger seat. I imagine she's got car proficiency. Sure. I mean, you can still just drive a car. Oh, there you go. Okay, so Ophelia jump. Sure. So why don't you jump into the driver's seat? Everyone crams in. It's one of those sports cars. It hasn't got any rear seats, but people just kind of like cram in the back. So you've got to hope you don't get pulled over in LA. And you smash through the gates of the party. So we wrap up with our agents having acquired the data, still need to decrypt it, and off rushing around the streets of downtown Los Angeles. All right. Well, that was a big part of Foolish Endeavor. I hope you enjoyed it.
That was
Yeah.
fun.
Foolish
It
endeavor.
was.
You know, title card now flashes across the screen. It's one of those pretentious movies that has the title at the end, and then rolls the credits. Yeah, for sure. Right.
Artificial brain.
Yeah.
As our
McCoy's
McLaren leaves the scene.
Yeah.
McCoy's hanging on, and at some point, as Ophelia's trying to drive, there's like a chilled magnum of champagne sitting in Ophelia's laps because I nicked it from the wine cooler.
And there's celebratory drinks.
I have an award now.
Yes.
You do have an award now. You stole an award.
Oh,
Congratulations.
I love it.
I'd like to thank the agency
Yeah.
and this award for being a bludgeoning weapon.
it's going to be
Thank
hanging like
God.
fuzzy dice from her car. Hanging
Nice one,
from the
fam. Wow.
rear view.
Yeah. Thank
But
you
this
so much
is
for
fun on the
playing.
dresser for it.
Yeah. That's amazing. That is amazing. Cool. Well, we got to wrap up. We can't play all night. So thank you so much for having a go at the spy game. So we're wrapping up the manuscript pretty soon. So we'll be in editing and then into layout fairly shortly. And we'll keep people updated on all of that. Those important links again, if you wanted to grab the quick start to have a look, I have a link for you now heading into chat. And then we also have the late pledges are live as well. So you can be able to get them. Click that link, helps us check referrals as well. Thank you so much, Lydia. How did you enjoy it?
I really enjoyed it. This was the perfect class as well for this type of game and for all the positive things and the fresh things, more importantly, that Spy Game brings to the D&D setting. Because there's always a lot of bot fuckery, of course, and I guess the face comes closest to that in this.
It does.
But just to have to rely on no magic and just the talkie talks, that's just I love it. But I had a lot of fun, especially with my dear ex-wife. That's something we have to continue at some point, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of which, Kat, how about yourself?
Oh man, this was great. I mean, Lydia and I have been trying to play together. I get this thing going for 4 games, and something's always happened. So we finally got to get some of that in, and it's been a lot of fun. I was really looking forward to it. I love 5e. I remember when you first started putting this out, and it was just, I was like, yeah, I got to play this. This is great, and finally gotten a chance. Playing docs who, as we put it as paramedics, we know 150 ways to hurt you and 149 to heal you. And I love kind of diving into that kind of stuff. So this was a lot of fun. Thank you. I really enjoyed it. And yeah, I want to do this some more. We'll have to see how Ophelia and McCoy turn out.
We've got a little odd couple duo kind of going on, a bit kind of buddy cop scenario, I'm feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good work. Nice. Brilliant. And Kevin, thanks so much for playing, man. How did you enjoy it?
First, let me just start off by saying Kat knows way too much about how to actually kill a person, so I will never mess with her if I ever see her at a con or whatnot. She scares me to death, but it was really good to play with her again as we had been playing another game. I love the genre. I love the game. I love the mechanics. I think there's so much potential for this game, especially even if you don't have a particular class, you can easily NPC it as an extra in a game to help you out. It's so diverse. So no, I really love all the classes, the subclasses. There's so much depth, and I think we just scratched the surface. So I really, really think there's so much to play. And so I had a great time. Absolutely adored it, and I want to say thank you for having me. For secondly, allowing me to participate with you guys. I had a lot of fun, and look, if you ever throw together another thing, I'd love to be a part. But again, I think this has so much potential, and I look forward to big things. So thank you.
Thanks so much. That means so much. Thank you. That's amazing. Cool. And I don't know if we have Julia. I think she might have timed out of the call. But Julia, thank you so much for playing as well. It's been awesome. Folks, please do stick around, because next up we have my good friend Jonathan Fry running the Seawall Orphanage thing with his horror system. It is absolutely awesome. I cannot get enough of this game and this series. So yeah, that's what I had to cover, right? Hang on, let me check my little log. Right,
Yeah,
I need to check. I can do this. I was tasked with this. I can do this. Please also check out the sponsors of Encounter Roleplay. They are fantastic friends, both at Fantasy Grounds and at World Anvil. Even in my time at Modifius, I also work with these lovely people, and they do a fantastic job. World Anvil is where you should go for all of your campaign organization needs. And having met the lovely pair that make it, it is a huge boon to the community. And then for Fantasy Grounds, obviously we use as our virtual tabletop of choice. Head over to Fantasy Grounds, either on Steam or online for their website, to grab yourself a free account to check stuff out, and then you can buy an account to start making campaigns and inviting your friends to play. And then there's Wormwood apparently as well. Thanks, chat. Thanks, Moldark.
So like little code.
They make
we
some
have for
amazing
shipping.
stuff, right? Yeah, so Encounter INT for $10 off international shipping. That is handy for the likes of you and me there, Lydia.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Jimmy,
Is that all of them? Did I do it right?
Yeah, you did well. You did well. Very well done.
Nailed it.
You can have a gold star.
I'd like to thank the Academy.
Or maybe a trophy.
Yeah, sure. You guys deserve a trophy for not being disaster spies. You were awesome.
And I mean, you can always double check and then at Sam later on Twitter if you forgot something, because we do still have the sponsors video anyway.
Oh, please do. Please do. Are we going to that now, or are we going straight to Dawn? I'd like
We're
to
going
jump
to our little. we know that you love Don to a somewhat unhealthy degree, because he hurts us all on a regular basis and after the fire. But yeah, we're gonna let past Charlie take over real quick, and then head over to present Charlie, who is playing in Seawall with Don and the rest of the awesome bunch. So at this point, thank you very much. Thank you, Sam, for being a wonderful handler with a really decent Scottish accent, I might add.
Oh, it was a bit patchy. I don't know.
I'm Scots straight, I can't really talk. But everyone else, good night and see you soon.
Thanks, guys. Farewell.
Before we begin today's show, I would like to take some time to remind you about our sponsors. Fantasy Grounds, our virtual tabletop of choice. All of the beautiful maps and roles you see tonight are done using Fantasy Grounds, which you can try for free at fantasygrounds.com. You can also get all of your miniatures from Wayland Games. Go to waylandgames.co.uk and get yourself a huge range of D&D, Warhammer and 40k minis for up to 20% off regular retail price. And Tabletop Loot, who sell incredible dice. Go and check them out at tabletoploot.com.